This is Twin Ring Mortegi. The oval bit now, not the track that you see down there. That's a fake. Now, when I say Twin Ring Mortegi, I think this is the first time that myself and the guy is in my box with me, Craig King. This is our first time seeing this oval in action. And what a beauty she is. Now, today is going to be a bit of a somber day because I think this is one of the last races that the major series drivers can compete in for this year. And well, the track is not going to be anywhere quiet for them because well, as you can see, oh well, that's a crash right on our screens. 44 degrees Celsius or 112 degrees Fahrenheit out there at the moment. A blisteringly hot track, just coming up to noon here in Japan. Track length of 2.45 kilometers. It's actually one of the longer ovals as far as I'm aware. And at an altitude of 150 meters above sea level. 14 kilometer northwesterly winds, so that will actually be blowing, I think, crosswind across the start-finish straights at the moment. This oval doesn't actually run anymore, as it was partially... no, that's a fairy tale. It wasn't damaged per se, but after the tsunami and subsequent Fukushima disaster, this racetrack has not been raced since, and is actually, well, now would be in disrepair. The track can't be used, but in honor of it, the Japanese Indy 300 is taking place here today. Greg, what's going on?
Konbawa, Konbawa. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Yeah, this is fantastic. The Indy Japan 300. I've always loved Twin Ring Mortegi for a lot of reasons. Number one, this was like one of the first ovals I remember driving in video games because of Gran Turismo. This is one of those tracks that I just feel that it's just fantastic. Also due to the fact that it's not a conventional oval, because turn 1 and turn 2, you can almost take flat out here because of how wide it is. But you get to turn 3 and 4, very tight, and you've got to get down a couple of gears. You've got to get down to about 4th gear, kind of like a worldwide technology track if you're used to that oval from America. So it's going to be very interesting. Also, humidity 78%. You saw it was 44 Celsius. It will be also quite a humid event. It's going to be an interesting race. A smaller field, about 20 drivers out here today, but it still promises to be a very close race. We do have some battles still going on in the championship. Of course, the champion has been declared, and the Ponte has won the championship, but P2 still to be decided. Brandon Kluger and Sean Brown. I did get some permutations as the checkered flag for practice goes off, and some nice permutations I got. Jan Brony needs 21st or better if Colin Ward wins. And I believe that is not for the Legends. That is for the Legends, sorry. That's the Legends. But when it comes to Sportsman, Sean Brown, Brandon Kluger, 3 points difference between the two of them. They'll practically make up the final. Well, they'll decide who comes on what step on the podium. That's going to be an interesting battle. But like I said, Jan Brony needs to be 23rd or better if Colin Ward wins. And, well, being there's only 20 cars, Jan Brony just basically needs to make sure he finishes the race today over Colin Ward. So that will be one to keep an eye out for. Once again, one last time, it's always nice to give a shout out to the charity that we're doing today. And today it's Fishing with Vets, non-profit organization, mission to provide veterans, active and retired, an opportunity to fish in the Midwest. So it's one of those nice little charities in America designed for veterans. And of course, just really when we talk about veterans, you know, a lot of these are American charities, but for anybody that has served for their country, I think we all give you a round of applause for everything you've done for your country and in your service. So regardless, a fantastic charity. But like I said, everyone, hats off to those servicemen and women. So, Adam Ponte will be leading us. Champion will be leading us away here as per usual. Adam Ponte will be the pole man. Beside him is Colin Ward. Then it's Ian Erasmus and Wolf Chikoto. You can see it on your screen right now. Ian Erasmus there just getting ready. And there's Wolf Chikoto. Jan Brony and Brandon Kluger side by side, 5th and 6th. Robert Hayes, Stuart Elder, Sam Watley, Andy Banfield, Mason Marzoff, Mike Gaunton. The rest of the field will be coming down because they are getting ready. There's only one one formation lap here. This is the only time you'll see a double file restart. This is classic Indy rules. Last time he came to Japan, Danica Patrick became the first and only woman to win at IndyCar. Who's going to win it today? Because this is Raidillon TV. The only corner you need, the Indy Japan 300, gets away very shortly.
Base car is off. We come to do the work. And Adavat Caponti. Oh, he's already gone. There he goes. As the field's trying to revitalize itself, try and get back to it. Off he goes. Oh no, these cars are very quiet. Hang on. So just look at these cars.
They are very quiet. I was amazed when I was listening in earlier at how quiet these things are, but it's such a weird thing. These are the old Indy cars, remember, in tribute to that old time. Probably this is the second time that the legacy Indy cars have been raced in the major series. First time the major series has come to Japan, and what a fantastic tribute it is. You can just see the battling going on at the moment. There's a lot of single file. Also, the car just getting a little bit loose there. That was Mike Gaunt coming off 4, just got a little bit loose, a little bit squirrely. He kept it through. Thankfully, every driver had made it through the first corners, the first lap, pretty much unscathed. But Adam Caponti is just gone at the moment. Don't expect that to stay, though, because with slipstream around here, it promises to be a very challenging track.
There's the gap, anyway. Actually, yeah, the cars are very quiet. I was expecting the onboards to scream at me, but nope. And also these Bridgestone tires. Or am I going Potts?
Pass. I cannot remember. I cannot remember what we talk when it comes to these tires.
The sidewall advertising just screams at me as if it was like Bridgestone, because it has the same sort of blur as as the F2004 sidewalls do. I might be wrong though. It might just be Firestone. On the inside, by the way, it's Colin Ward taking on Ian Erasmus.
Caution.
Oh, caution already. Caution.
Steven Nagel lost it. Steven Nagel lost it out of 4. Tried to save the car, but the car just went, can't do it. And he tried to correct that so much, and the car just went no. So that was a hard hit. We may see him just go in. Just watch this. He's coming around 4, right? Here's the red. This is probably the best way to see it. Comes around. He's got the dirty air, of course, and he just tried to get on the throttle just a bit too early. Oh, there he goes. It's gone. And the moment he corrects, not much you can do there. He did everything he could to correct it, but he just went out. He just went the wrong way, and that was straight in. And that's unfortunate.
Oh wait, hang on. I can check the tires. Hang on. Let's see what the tires are.
Oh yes.
Well, his helmet's in the way. Let's just do it this. It's Firestone.
Okay, it's Firestone. Fair enough. So, gives it a chance.
See how professional we are.
It gives it a good chance just to quickly go over a few little stats about this race, because when it comes to fuel, a full tank of fuel will last you, if you're doing full green flag stops, about 55 to 60 laps, depending on how much throttle you're using or depending on how you're being aggressive on the car. They get 10 sets of tires, including the ones they start the race. So they shouldn't need to go through all of them, but a splash and dash for tires, it shouldn't take too long. It only takes 7 seconds to change 4 tires. That sounds pretty quick, but then you realize the full tank will take 10 seconds. So if you're going to do a full service on a green flag stop here, which when you do green flag stops, you have to do a full service. You're looking at 39 seconds from cone to cone on average if you get it right. And we can see 2 cars that decide to go straight in. Pretty sure Steven Nagel will go and get a quick repair just to be on the safe side. I would have thought. Let's hope so. Scott Kukas also goes in.
You also do have 1 quick repair. That is going to be very, very useful, I think, especially given the fact that it is the first caution. And already, Silbernagel has... Oh no, he's actually not using his fast repair. He hasn't anyway, according to this. He only came
straight in and out. Wow, that's interesting. I am surprised at that, but mustn't have been a heavy hit, and probably the caution was more out for the spin, which I have seen before when doing IndyCar on iRacing. It's one of those things where I hate to say it, but I think I did a Michigan race and everyone was spinning off at turn 1 with cold tires, and no one could get a good run, which meant everyone was spinning because they had cold tires. And Scott Kukas had to turn on crew chief. He had to pit to turn on his crew chief, which is I've never had that problem before myself, but I know it's happened before. There is our lovely pace car, the sedan. Didn't even realise it's got iRacing on the windscreen. That's pretty cool to see. Pretty sure the lights will go off this time around. We have currently done a grand total of 6 of the 200 laps. We're just under 2 hours here. Around here. So
suspiciously, it sounds like the Porsche car. Don't know where that came from, but you know.
No, it would never be a Porsche car. Surely it would be a pickup truck.
Sit inside it and tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to.
yeah, because it literally is the Porsche engine plunked into a
sedan.
Into a sedan.
A sedan.
Yeah,
a sedan.
A discreet sedan that doesn't look like 2 cars bolted together.
No, we never said that. iRacing.
I did. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it looks different enough. I mean, it's like Grand Theft Auto with how it does cars. It's like everybody knows what car it's meant to be, but it's different enough to not be breaking copyright. Lights are off, by the way, on the top of the car. Official pace car. Leading around, Adam Pachaponti in first, Ian Erasmus second, Colin Ward third, Wolf Giacato fourth, Brandon Kluge in fifth. That's your top 5 in 150 car. Racing for John, as always, is preparing now to go back racing. Lap 6 is just about to conclude. Under pace car, it'll be lap 7 back again racing and off the that's Ultif Giacato bringing out the yellow flag. The yellow flag immediately. Oh dear.
Wow, that was pretty quick. And that is a very mangled front end. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
This is what happens when oh dear. Poor man. I think he's screaming in his car because he wanted to get racing. What?
Too much on the throttle. Too much on throttle.
Really? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen to his engine. Let's have a look. Wolfie Giacato. Nice and dandy. And this is the replay now of him coming up to the start-finish line. Because he was on the throttle. Because he had actually started gaining speed. Oh!
Yeah. That was red line. That was just the red line as well.
Yeah, and he told as well. He didn't even want to give it a chance. He just said nope, don't even want to. Nope.
So I'll put him down on a lap. Surely that'll put him down on a lap then.
Oh, here comes Fatraponti doing the meme. Clutch it in at 41 k's on 6th gear, according to our top Trump stopwatch.
Well, of course there is a problem because pace car came out when they were still going around, so the top 4 have to pick up the pace car. I wanted to point out something about Adam for the moment. That special helmet he's wearing, a very special helmet he is wearing. It is actually a design for John King. It's literally put. It is the John King tribute helmet. The Racing for John tribute helmet. Somebody, Ray Kinetic Racing made this helmet. He had an idea last summer that he wanted a helmet of a mashup of Alan Prost and then Tony Breeze, two former racing drivers. And in honor, Ray made this helmet for the family. All the proceeds will go to his GoFundMe to his family. And I gotta be honest, it looks a fantastic helmet. It's a really nice little mix up there. It's a nice little mashup, but it is just what John wanted. Mm-hmm. And Adam's wearing it. I know a few of them are wearing it. But of course, Adam's always been driving that Racing for John livery, and I think it's just fantastic. Yeah, Patrick Neese is driving it as well, by the way, so wearing it as well. So you can just see it is a very special livery, very special helmet for some of those guys, and you can actually get it yourself on the Majors Garage website. And like I said, all proceeds of that does go to John King's GoFundMe. So, pace car lights will go off this time, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
So the question will then be, how many spinners will we see on the restart? It's a very tough car to drive just because of that, because there's so much power of those wheels, and it does really feel like an F1 car. If you just put too much throttle down, you are going to lose the back, and that's kind of what happened there. So I'm hoping there's not going to be that many issues, but it does show that you've got to be really careful here. Like, it's the same with NASCAR. Some people, they will not launch off in first gear. They'll just go off in second because they're worried of the wheel spin. Kind of get the same thing with these old Indy cars.
I mean, to be honest, at least the F1 cars will at least tell you when it's about to snap oversteer. These don't. These do.
So, I'm pretty sure Wolf Dietrich is still out there. He is indeed. He is currently at the back. He is a lap down, unfortunately. But we're keeping our eyes on Adam Hacaponte. He'll be getting ready to lead them off. It's just amazing how big this track is. And then you just get to this high banking, tight turn 3 and 4. It's not NASCAR 3 and 4 because this isn't a NASCAR track, which does throw me off. You've got all these sponsors, like we said, track is no longer drivable, and it's due to the lack of use of it after the great East Japan earthquake and tsunami. Pace car goes in. Adam Hacaponte will lead them away pretty quickly, and there he goes. He builds up the speed. No problems, and he catches everybody off. And there's still drivers out of turn 4 that have to start this lap, and they're just having a little bit of squirreliness. And they're almost 3 wide at the backfield with what's going on. But the front, everyone's just keeping side by side. But that is Mike Gaunt making a great launch past Stuart Elder. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Gaunt goes looking for another position later very quickly.
Stuart Elder under pressure. He's gone slow. Sorry, excuse me. He's gone slow. Robert Haynes on the inside. On the 3 and 4, holding it nice and tight, shuffling out Stuart Elder. Stuart Elder's he's really got some problems. There's something wrong with that car. He's already 2 seconds down on this lap already. Nothing doing, and he's actually a few Ks slower. What is going on wrong with that? Oh wait, I thought that was the front wing that had damage, but no, I think. Yes, I am imagining things.
Could be just the wrong fuel map. Could be the wrong engine map. He probably put it on, probably put it down for safety car procedures just to save some fuel. Probably forgot to do that. It looks like he's back up to speed now. Probably did have the wrong engine map in. Ronald Overbay came into the pits, by the way. Not sure what's happened there for Overbay. So we've got a few drivers out at the moment, but just looking around to see what's going on. Not much happening at the moment. You're seeing Colin Ward trying to just keep it safe there. He's got Ian Erasmus right in front of him. His teammate there, as you can see. And they're not really looking to be too aggressive at the moment. These teammates, they're probably just going to stay together for the most of this race. They know that Adam could just go. He could just drive away. And I know we always joke about Adam's dislike. I wouldn't say hatred, that's a strong word. Dislike for oval racing. But he's doing well here. He is the Indy 500 champion for the European split. And this is his final race in the Sportsman. What can he do? Can he go with a bang?
Well, he says he hates them. But then again, he always does very well in them. So maybe it's like Van Gogh. Remember when Van Gogh let loose that, he was like, I hate painting. Or was it him that hated painting? Was he the one that
Can't remember. Oh, caution is out though. We've got the caution out right away.
That is Marco Schmitz. Marco Schmitz.
Oh! Heavy impact.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see why. Let's have a look. On with Marco Schmitz in a very corrupted livery. Yeah, that livery's not meant to be like that. Oh,
he's having the same problem.
Oh!
Yeah, lost the rear out of 4, and again, it's the same thing. Losing that rear out of 4 has just caused the issue. They are aware of the struggles at turn 4, and unfortunately, I mean. This, though, it looked like he didn't do too much correction. He didn't overcorrect or anything, and
no, it just slid.
Tiniest. Yeah.
And that's why you have the halo now, ladies and gentlemen, because, well, I mean, look at this for me. Bang. That's him upside down.
That's me. You probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably wondering why the car took a nosedive after that, because it honestly just let go. Like, you know, some of the song. I'm thinking of the song "Something's Gotta Give," but I mean, like, it could have held out a lot better than what it did, and it just went bang and just let loose.
It's just a track temp. We're talking 45 Celsius. Now, we're talking exactly 45 Celsius. Humidity drops to 77. That's not going to help matters. Like, the hot track is going to cause, you know, a hot track, and we know what happens with a hot track. You've got to be a little bit smoother in your input. You can't be so aggressive. Be careful with your throttle. With the humidity, that's just going to increase the air. Like the density of the air, you're probably going a little bit faster because of the humidity. You'll be losing grip a bit more. So we know that you're having to drop a couple of gears to get around turn 3 and 4. But it's just one of those that it's, you know, how much throttle do you put in? Are you going to be aware of it? And it's not going to get cooler. It is currently 22 minutes past 12 sim time on the 20th of April. I'm pretty sure this track's not going to get cooler. If yesterday's Suzuka 10 hours is anything to go by, it's not going to get cooler. Especially with that wind. 11 kph northwest. That's quite some... I'm trying to think now. Northwest would be... Well, that would be right in your face as you're through turn 2, I would have thought.
Well, let's put it this way. In the case of top drops, us versus GSRC for cautions and who's leading in terms of laps. GSRC has not had any cautions in their race so far. They're lap 33 out of 200. We have had 3, and we're lap 16. So you can definitely see the time difference. The pace lap around here is roughly, I think it is roughly 1 minute. So double the time that it usually takes, unless I've got my maths wrong. Correction. And
yeah, 1 minute 30.
Sorry, correction. 1 minute 30. So it's an extra. If the pace car is out, it's an extra minute for every lap they go around. Currently on lap 18. 17 laps done. 183 left to go. According to the track information I have, it is 10 o'clock in the morning, and the temperature has risen 1 more degree Celsius anyway. And yeah, that's very toasty for these tires. I did not think Japan would be this hot though, but it's
You don't want to know how hot Suzuka was yesterday in the 10 hours of Suzuka. Let me tell you that.
Was it 55 or something like that?
47.7 was the hottest we recorded.
Spicy.
Which is the hot. I mean, I was creep cheaping yesterday.
Still not as hot as Le Mans.
What, track temp?
Yeah. I have raced in Le Mans when it went 50-55.
Well, I'll let you have some fun, because do you have the brand new Porsche Cup car?
I do, yes.
Do you want to go and do some Porsche Cup car next week at Interlagos?
No.
Yeah, because that's going to be 60 plus track temp.
Yeah, no. I like living. I don't want to cry.
So I'm going to be watching some of that, just because I just want to see how people are dealing with it. I'm thinking about having to break an extra 100 meters than what you used to. That's how it feels to me. Maybe more. You may have to start braking like you're in a stock car. In one of those things. Excuse me, one of those things. I'd be quite concerned. But pace car has its lights off. We'll be getting ready to do lap 19 into lap 20. Still a few drivers in a few laps down. Wolf Digicoto, Ronald Oberbay, Marco Schmidt, all 1, 2, and 2 laps down respectively. And there's a car just coming out of the pits just now. I did not see who that was. Scott Kukas went back into the pits. He's just had another pit stop. I reckon he's got something going on, because that's another pit stop he's just had to deal with. So, no idea. Now, there's not a lot bunching up here. And like I said, Adam's going pretty respectfully. And you still got drivers around turn 4 when he goes in, when he goes off. So just be careful here. We could see some more fireworks at the start here, but knock on wood, we got our fingers crossed. Let's see if we can get some racing, because the first bit of racing we had was pretty good.
Going into lap 19, lap 19 coming to an end. Adabagapati will lead them off on the third restart here. And off they go. The little hum of the little engine that could. Coming down into 1 and then into 2. Hanabacha Ponti taking a blissful lead there ahead of Erasmus. Mike Gaunt is sailing past Jan Brony and now is in the top 5. Sam Whatley battling with Stuart Elder, Stuart Elder is also at the bottom rung. I think he actually let Sam Whatley by a little bit, and I mean he kind of dove right down to the apron and then sent it, or let Sam Whatley sent it by him there. But the space field is sort of moseying in now, trying to get into a rhythm with Mike Gaunt. No, sorry, Adam Ponti is actually oh well, I now just looked. So Elder is your fastest driver out there right now. Yeah, oh no, sorry. It's Adam Ponti. I should have stuck with my original guess.
I'm keeping my eyes on Mike Gaunt at the moment because Mike's in a really good run. He somehow just finds this speed through 1 and 2 that Nova drivers had at the moment in the NASA 21 there. And he's just trying to find some room. And look at this, he's got another good run there. That's Brandon Kluger in front of him. I doubt he'll get a move here. Just look how deep he dives into 3 and 4. Kluger does have Ward and Erasmus in front of him, but Gaunt looks like he's going to be making a move here. Gets onto the back, and in fact, actually, we could see some more moves here. Does Kluger go out here? He'll go out first, and I think, yeah, that is going to be Gaunt just holding back a little bit. Brandon Kluger goes side by side with Colin Ward. Round 2 they go, and they're still side by side. Can Kluger, get this move off? I think Ward's starting to lose it. Into 3 they'll go. Mike Gaunt's just casually watching this. Deep move in there by the 92 of Ward. He may have this. Can Kluger do this? Again, it's more side by side here. Good racing. And they're going to go 3 wide almost. Mike Gaunt is in danger of taking this 3 wide because in some respect, this is holding him up.
Yeah, side by side action that these guys are doing. The kind of doing the outside is trying to hold off, but has the 21 car on the inside. There at your door. Well, there's no door here, but he's there at your wheel. Dirty wing. And the 92 is trying to hold it around the outside as Mike Gunn tries to hold it on the inside, coming past in 3 and 4. And it is still side by side action. Oh, that was almost a hit of the wall from Colin Ward as he almost has issues, but he's able to send it. Mike Gunn, oh, well, he sent it, but Mike Gunn trying to clap back around the outside. Door is shut right in front of him. And that is Colin Ward trying to shut the door, but has to go on the inside. And Mike Gunn on the outside.
Mike Gaunt is really getting tested there at the moment. And it all comes down to who Brandon Kluger gives the toe to. And he's trying to get the toe to none of them, but they have to go 2 wide to make this. And now Mike Gaunt might have to run here if he can do it. I'm wanting to see what Colin Ward could do here. Does he go in too deep again? Because we noticed that he had a little bit of speed he had to scrub off on the exit of 2. Looks clean at the moment. Mike Gaunt looks like he may just stay here for the long run. You can see Colin is probably forcing himself to go hard. We've got Mason Marsdorf had an off here. He's just had a toe as well. We'll see what's happening there in a moment. But at the moment, we're keeping our eyes on this. Can Gaunt do it?
Green flag racing.
Green flag racing. I don't know what's happened there to Mason Marsdorf. We'll get that shortly. But again, you've got Ward trying to defend the inside here. We'll have Gaunt on the outside. Here is Mason Marsdorf here. Going to be through 3. Does he lose it through 3? I think he does. Wide at 3 into 4, and that's going to be the car going. Going to be the car going. He tried to fight it. He tried to fight it, and the little corrections almost did it, but he didn't. And I tell you what, that's good to get that car off the track ASAP to make sure there is no toe there. I mean, no caution. So really good work there from Mason. Just a shame what's happened to him. You're not missing anything. I think Mike Gaunt's just decided for the moment he's just going to keep it safe. 7 positions made up already for Mike Gaunt in the 21.
No. Well, keeping it safe and dandy. Almost losing the car coming into the apron. This is the car he's trying to chase. That is the car of 92 Colin Ward with a big old relic. Now at this stage, they don't really have these antennas anymore. And blocks the way of the camera. But side by side action is on. It's not too bad. Going backwards, Stuart Elder, by the way, but he's now fallen back to the top 10, or just to the scrap of the top 10. Can breathe chasing him down. Oh, crikey, that's Brandon Kluge and Ian Erasmus having some battles. Where are they? There they are. Have a look at them. Ian Erasmus losing a position there to Brandon Kluge, who's trying to fight on the inside of car number 14, trying to fight the age 08. And unfortunately, Ian is just not in a position to attack right now. He's also kind of going backwards.
I wouldn't say going backwards too much, but you can see Kluge, with just the experience here, probably also managing those tyres better despite going for that move, managing to keep the speeds up as well. Did a 31.1 last lap compared to Erasmus 31.5, so it wasn't Ian's best lap there in the 808, and he's got his teammate Colin Ward. Now, it's safe to say that I don't think Colin will be battling his teammate. I say that, he's just gone out there side by side, and he's just taking the position. They're going to be battling side by side now. These are teammates battling Colin Ward, Brandon, and Ian Erasmus, side by side. And the more fighting these guys do, the more this starts to, let Brandon go away from them. And also Mike Gaunt starts to go, I might want to get myself in here for a moment. They're still side by side there. You would think the inside would be able for the 92. But this is kind of like in Indianapolis. You've got to let the slipstream work. I think that might be Colin Ward. If you can get this right, this is probably his last chance to get this right. Kluge goes wide. He loses control there. Has to go a little bit wide. Has to speed off the throttle a little bit. And this will set up Mike Gaunt big time. Erasmus loses that position. And Erasmus now is... Oof.
Erasmus.
That's Ward and Erasmus. Wow. Can he hold on to it?
Wait. Oh, no. Not on the outside. Here comes Mike Gaunt.
And there goes Mike Gaunt. Around the outside. Wow. Around the outside by Mike Gaunt. What a move by Mike Gaunt around the outside there. Brilliant overtake there for Gaunt. He is now on a charge. He wants to get up there to the front. He's got the pace. Now Erasmus is going down the order. Jan Brony is the next car. That's pretty big in terms of the championship, though. If Jan Brony, for the veterans, he needs that position as well. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Remember, Jan Brony currently in the championship from Colin Ward. Basically, if he just matches Colin Ward, he'll be champion. 12 points is the difference. He needs to just match. Stay out there and just match Colin Ward, and he'll win the Legends Championship. So Adam Vagaponte has a 4.5 second lead over Brandon Kluge. Is that from everyone battling? Yes and no. I mean, the pace he's been putting on is fantastic. A 30.85. Just looking right now, no one's done anything close to that apart from Mike Gaunt, who just had a 30.87. Probably the closest driver at the moment. A couple 30.9s by drivers in the middle and the back of the field. So yeah, only driver matching Vagabonte right now is Mike Gaunt. So keep an eye on what Mike can do. But also with Brandon Kluge now in free air, can he close that gap? 4.6 seconds? Might be able to. He's got to keep his eyes on Colin Ward right behind him. But I don't think he'll be too worried at the moment, as we just keep on board with everything. You're not missing anything, although I do see a car is going. Is that Robert Hayes?
Robert
relative might be going wrong.
Yeah.
It is. Robert Hayes is gone. Now, is that a disconnect? It is. Unfortunately, it looks like Robert Hayes has had a thorough put there, which is a shame.
No. Well, oh dear. You might want to have a look at this one. This one is quite weird. I think he hit the wall. I'm trying to see now. He hit the wall. Oh yeah, he hit the wall, and then somebody rear up. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he gets rear-ended.
And he probably went straight for a quit. Yeah, he did. Okay, and that's a shame for Robert Hayes there. So that puts us down to 19 drivers in the race.
He's actually the only person that's not running right now. Everybody else is running.
Yeah.
Sam Watley, by the way. Oh dear, what is that car? Oh,
what in front? You mean Roberto De Philippe's?
Oh my god. What is that?
No idea, but Roberto is fighting Thomas Siebernagel here. Remember, Siebernagel had that first accident, brought out the first caution, and is doing pretty well for himself at the moment. He's hanging on. He didn't have a lot of damage there, but he's able to hold on. He's currently P10, sorry, with De Philippe's battling behind him. And remember, all season, Rob. Let's just have a flashback to the season. All season, ever since Thomas had that moment where he forgot to turn the wireframe off when he uploaded his livery, he hasn't forgotten. And in playfulness, all season, he's basically made liveries with wireframes on purpose until today.
By the way, just so you guys are aware, with that crash that Robert Haynes had with one of the cars, we didn't actually know which car it was, but now we do. If you take a look at the 313, there is a nose missing where it should be. He's got massive front end damage with no aero on the front, and he's trying to get it into the pits now. But he waited so very long to actually take that pit stop. He had the accident 2 laps ago, and he waited until now to take it, and he does. But yeah, that front end did not look very, very happy whatsoever. Over the front, by the way, Colin Ward chasing down Brandon Kluge. And by the way, Adam Vacciaponti still racing away with it. He was just over 0.2 of a second a lap faster than Brandon Kluge on that last lap, and he was and that means anybody else behind him is also 0.2 of a lap slower. It's a fast driver out there at the moment on the used rubber. They're 40 laps old now at this stage, and in the European Pro, I can tell you now that they've actually started their pit stop windows, and as they come past the 20% mark, so lap 42 we're currently on, 41 laps completed, past the 20% mark, they are looking to probably see within the next 15 laps if they're going to take a pit stop.
Yeah, I'm thinking for us as well. We said that the fuel window would be 50 to 60, lap 50 to 60. Add about 10 laps to that with all the cautions we've had. So we're looking really about lap 60 to lap 70 for our pit window, which would be fantastic because that starts to turn this race into a 3-stopper instead of a 4-stopper, which for some of these drivers will be good, I think. 3 stops will also increase the racing, in theory. But the gaps out there is pretty spread out at the moment. Adam's got that 5.5 second gap. And then you've got battles for second and third. You've got battles for 5th and 6th. You've got battles for 7th down to 9th. You've got a couple battles elsewhere. It's all a bit spread out at the moment. Now, I mean, you're thinking, but it's an Indy car. Why is it so spread out? Well, that turn 3 and turn 4, a lot of these drivers just unable to make it work at the moment. And Brandon Kluge has this gap now on Colin Ward, has this defense on Colin Ward, and Colin goes wide. And it's not the best of places he's been. We have seen these guys try to battle around the outside, but it's not been working very well for them. What can Colin Ward do? Colin Ward will just hold on, think about this. They are pulling away from Mike Gaunt. I think Mike may have cooked his tyres with that aggressive start. He's unable to catch up to these guys. But when you look at these times, Adam Vacciaponti just did a 30.81. Brandon Kluge comes across the line, it's going to be a 31.02. And it's a 31.1. for Colin Ward and Gaunt with a 31.03, so you can start to see the times. They're all starting to match each other a little bit, even with this slipstream that Colin Ward is getting. But how's that going to tear up those tyres? What will happen in the next 20 laps, really, when you think about it? Colin may have to just chill and cool those tyres down a little bit.
I mean, they're getting to the stage where the tyres might need to be replaced anyway. I think in the pit stop, you take fuel and you take tyres.
You always take fuel and you always take tyres, yeah. I've learned from experience. I learned from experience once when Indy Fix was at Daytona. Now, when you do stock cars at Daytona, if you're doing green flag pit stops, you don't take tyres. So I thought I didn't have to take tyres. I got out the pits and I lost control of the car, literally on the pit exit, and spun the car straight into the wall. And brought caution out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So no matter what you're driving when it's in the car, you always take tyres. And you can start to see that Colin Ward's trying to use that slipstream to his advantage. Just not working for him. Now, they do have some of the stuff that you see in the modern day Indy cars. They do have the ARB, they do have the weight jacker. So maybe it's now to start to come to a time of, you know, Colin's following so much in this dirty air. Does he put some ARB on? Does he put some weight jacker? He may have just found a good run here as he's now on the inside into 3, and they're going to come close together. But no, Brandon Kluge may just have that nice mid to late run set up at the moment. He continues to keep this P2. He's not letting Colin Ward by. And let's be brutally honest, the number of times Colin's had a really good run out of 4, not been able to make the most of it.
Just by the way, in Kenneth Reeder's case, we're looking at it right now. Sorry, excuse me. Kenneth Reeder and Stuart Elder going at it a little bit. and Stuart Elder passing for 8th position. Kenneth Reed going into 9th. And yeah, it's sort of holding pattern right now for a lot of these guys. Oh, Brandon Kluge having a bit of a blink. Look his back. Well, he is also being chased by Colin Ward. Still, again, as we said before, Ward can use the ECU to do some things for him. He can change the anti-roll bar settings in the car. He doesn't have to go to the pits, as Stuart Elder is making another target, his victim. On the inside he goes with Andy Banfield, the car number 3, letting him by. No point fighting a car that's 10 kilometers faster than you, especially with the straight as it was. So Stuart Elder having to let him go. By the way, Scott Kukas passing Patrick Nice, who still hasn't fixed his livery. The livery is very corrupted. But yeah,
it's like that forever, Rob. It's like that forever. Let's. Sorry to say, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to stick with that for a little bit. Yeah. It was a bit of a shame.
By the way, Adam Ponte's started to lap people. Oh,
that's mind blowing.
Ponte, hold it together, man.
I mean, that's ridiculous that we're like 51 in and he's lapping people. It's Patrick Nice as well, and that's like drivers are racing, not broken cars or anything like that. So Patrick Nice just having a little bit of a bad time there. Sam Watley did go 2 laps down after what happened with him with no wing, which is a bit of a shame. Adam Pacaponte currently only has a 6.5 second lead, but still, I mean, I just keep looking at this Kluge-Ward battle and nothing's going on here. And if I'm Colin Ward, I'm thinking just stay in for the long time here. Just save a little bit of fuel, see if you can jump him in the pit stops, go a little bit later. He's got another good run here, but again, if he goes to the inside, he'll try to go aggressive, he'll cook his tyres. Can he afford to cook his tyres right now when we're talking about Brandon Kluge? I don't think he is. You think, look at Mike Gorn. He knows he doesn't need to be so aggressive here. Well, look at the times again. It was a 30.98 for Pacaponte. It's going to be a 31.05 and a 31.07 for Kluge and Ward, respectively. Literally, Colin's here for the ride. He's going to let Brandon do all the work, and he's here for the ride. Kind of like in Erasmus, he just let Stuart Elder go.
Reader.
What can Stuart do on Kenneth Reader? Sorry.
Yeah, Reader got by him.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was Erasmus and Elder. Ooh, what's wrong with Elder? Erasmus is having big issues with his car. His second lap slower in that last lap, and had a huge difficulty getting it going out of the 4. And is already falling backwards. By the way, Colin Ward, here he goes. Another move, attempting into the 3 and 4. 40, closing the door by Croxy, not wanting to have another car on his inside whatsoever. Kenneth Reader catching Andy Banfield. And there's a massive gap of 2.5 seconds up to Ian Erasmus from there. So a little time before he gets the battle. And here we go again. Try number, I think, 4 this time. Again, it's just Colin Ward on the inside. He's not able to get side by side with Kluge. And by the way, that's a car in the pits. That is going to be Patrick Nice.
Yeah, Patrick Nice into the pits. No, I'll tell you what it is as well. It feels like Colin's unable to take the optimal line here. We just see Patrick Nice going into the pit. Just watch this. You won't see the animation. Look how quick this will take. He gets to his box. Here we go. Crew working. 1 tire, 2 tires. There we go. He's up. There's the side tires. Go down. The fuel's going straight in. They'll go to the other side now. Do the other tires. They'll get those going. Car goes down. Jacks will be thrown around, and then they will go. He gets right away, and that's pretty quick there. Kind of got that right on my head as well. I was watching a video on how these pit crews practice and train. It was very interesting. Colin Ward trying to get by the 40. He's trying to do it around the outside now. I'll tell you what, good defense here by Brandon Kluge. But now he's allowed Colin Ward to have the outside, and that's a move around the outside by Colin Ward to take P2 from Brandon Kluge. Does Brandon have anything? He does not. Wow, that's 2 moves around the outside we've seen today into turn 1 and 2. Fantastic driving. Colin Ward will get back up to P2. What cost, though? He's 6.3 seconds behind Adam Pacaponte.
Adam Pacaponte doing a 37. Colin Ward also doing a 37, but Colin Ward had slipstream. Ponte has just got the open air to deal with, and his thoughts and time. By the way, Stuart Elder passing Andy Banfield for 8th position. And did it burn quite quietly, actually. But it has woken that 115 car up in a big way. Now chasing after Kenneth Reader to retake the position that he lost to Kenneth about 10 laps ago, or about 8 laps to go on near and around lap 15. Now, no pit stops from the front long, all the way from 1st to 9th have yet to pit. We are expecting them in almost at any point now at this stage. Ponte will be the one that will be the ballpark figure. They have had laps under caution, with 3 cautions, so there'll be about
I was thinking about 65, I would have thought. Give them an extra 10 laps on the cautions they've had. 65 to 70, I think, is where the pit window would open. But there's nothing stopping you going right in now. You can start to see the times are starting to come down with those tanks getting lighter, because Adam just for a 30.57 in. I'm really curious to see that Brandon Kluger going into the pit. That is Brandon Kluger going into the pits. A little bit early there, but he must know something we don't. He's keeping that pretty simple there. He's straight into the pits there. Now this allows Colin Ward to just, not have to worry about anybody battling him. Mike Gaunt really can't get to him. Where does Kluger come out, though, in all of this? It's going to be pretty interesting to see where he will come. He's still in the pits here. 20 seconds, 21, 22. When we were thinking, 37 seconds, really, is the time you spend in the pits if it's pretty straight. That's enough to be lapped.
Yep.
I can't think of NASCAR, you do get lapped. But for someone like that, that's insane. He's out the pits right now. He's going to be behind Scott Kukas, who pitted early. And he's going to be behind Wolfjicic Hoto, who also pitted early because of that damage. So when you look at it, Kukas is off schedule. Wolf Hoto hasn't pitted. So he's the first one to be pitting. And he's about, I want to say, 15 seconds behind the next car, who's on the lead lap. So we're going there from Kluger. We'll wait to see what happens when the other drivers come in. Because Colin Ward now has a 7-second gap to Ponte. It's getting bigger again.
Ponte about to reach 7 seconds ahead of Colin Ward as he tries to struggle through. By the way, that is Stuart Elder in your screen doing battle with Kenneth Reader for his 6th position because of the pit stop that Kluger have made. Kluger down into 14th position, a lap down.
Oh, caution, it's Colin Ward! It's Colin Ward! And he's lost the car! Now, what's happened here? That's him going for the pit stop. That is him going for the pit stop. He's hit the wall of the pit road!
Let's have a look. Coming in onto the apron. And the car goes and says no, ejects him. That's where the caution was thrown. Let's have another look on board with him. Let's have a look. What happened here? Slowing it down. Oh, one tap of the accelerator and that sent him off. That was quite a hard hit to his front left, so I imagine he's got suspension damage. Oh, he does actually. I can see it even from here. He's got suspension damage. The car's, and he's missed the pit box. He missed the pit.
He can't go in. Pit lane's closed. He can't go in.
Ooh.
Caution will close the pit lane. He has to go around again. Who does this help? I'll tell you who it doesn't help. Brandon Kluger. Or does it? Brandon Kluger will get a wave around because he won't have to pit.
Yeah, but he'd have a pit stop on his belt, whereas everybody else will get everybody else will have a free pit stop essentially.
But there's not a lot of difference. Kluger's only done a couple laps compared to these guys on the So in all due fairness, to me, Kluger, he's not going to lose much time here. But to go 50 laps there? 50 laps almost? Under Green Flag Racing, pretty good. Ponte comes in. We're going to see everybody come in now. Pretty sure. Ambroni comes in. Erasmus comes in. Kenneth Reader comes in. Stuart Elder's coming in. Colin Ward with that absolutely destroyed car. Andy Banfield can't really go ahead of him, so he'll come in. They all come in. Steve Nagel will come in. De Philippe's is quite far away. Not sure why. But I'm pretty sure this will mean that we do get those drivers a lap down will probably take it and come back out. Now, in theory, Anna Facaponte will be the first car out of this. Here's Mike Gaunt trying to make it, but no, Facaponte will keep the lead. Mike Gaunt, well, I say keep the lead. Brandon Kluge will have to go to the back of the line. Am I right? Yeah, he will.
He goes to the back of the line, yeah.
I'm sure he can do it again. He did some really good driving earlier, so I'm sure. But it's early in the race. It's lap 66, so it's not the end of the world getting shuffled to the back because you were the first one to take a green flag pit stop right before caution. Especially when the field is pretty lower down now. There's only 14. That will put 14 drivers on the lead lap, but that's still 13 drivers you have to get by to get back to the lead. I mean, he can do it. How much is it going to cost him? Tires and fuel, and then if he gets held up in a battle like he had before with Gaunt, is that going to cost him? Big question.
Caution number 4. It is. Sorry, caution number 4. Lap 66. We're just with the crossover to do that, and there it. Okay, well no, there it is. And I can say that it is coming up to the halfway point in the European Pros as they are on lap 90, about to cross over to 91, with Bennett in the lead of car 007 and Dallas Batasca in the car 28 chasing him down 5 seconds behind, and Crum in third with Banfield in Ross Banfield in the triple ones, sitting just at 10 seconds behind in fourth position. Then Sam Harper in fifth with 12 seconds deficit. They are looking at winning this one over us, but we will endeavor. We'll persist as we get ready to come back racing again. Current leader is on your screens. Adam Facaponte in the orange car racing for John, ahead of Mike Gaunt, who is just behind him. They'll have plenty of lapped cars looking to get a wave around. The lights are still on, so we'll go for one more lap here around the Twin Ring Mortegi. Orange flag, or correction, yellow flag is still being held straight up into the air by Barney as the cars are now getting their wave arounds. Those that require one are getting one, and the lights are now off on the pace car. Now the lap is so huge here when it's on the pace car. They'll definitely be able to refile in line with no problems whatsoever. But it's a restart. Remember, we had seen it before. Wolf Dietrich Hotto was our first victim. Well, it's a bit hard to say victim, but he was a victim of his own wanting to get going. That's what I'll go with, because unfortunately, geared the engine, went to slam it to the accelerator mode, and the accelerator pedal said, "I will now spin this car," and obviously that's exactly what happened. Car span, and obviously he is no longer in the top 5. Hotto is 14th now as we get ready to go to restart. Field forming on the upper lane. As is per usual, pace cars in. They are already going, by the way, because Facaponte is a time waster nil. He wastes absolutely negative amounts of time getting going because he wants to just get racing. Coming around the 1 and 2, nice and easy, keeping it steady. But, of course, the whole field sort of spreading out now, trying to get back going on cold tires.
Brandon Kluger almost just lost the car there. He got held up by a lap car as he's trying to make his way around. You remember, he's at the back of the field, had to take the wave around, and he just got held up by Mason Malzoff, and he almost went on the apron. Was able to hold it together, but that was a close one there for Kluger. Remember, he needs this result. He needs to beat Sean Brown Well, I mean, technically he has beaten Sean Brown because Sean Brown's not here. He needs this, though. He needs this result to make sure that he does seal that P2 in the championship. So any result right now is good for him, but we know his pedigree on ovals. He's a very good oval driver. He has to get past a few lapped cars before he gets back to P11. Where is Roberto? Roberto is actually 2 seconds ahead of him, which doesn't sound a lot, but when you realize there are cars, between them, that is a big difference there for Brandon Kluger. As he continues there, Roberto De Felici's just there having a little bit of a battle for lap car there. He's got Ronald Overbay in front of him, and beside him is Wolf Dietrich Otto there. And Wolf Dietrich does get by, and of course Roberto doesn't even want to try and cause any issues there. So that's happening at the back of the field. At the front of the field, however, it's all pretty quiet by the looks of it. It looks like that Mike Gaunters can't catch on to Adam Facaponte. Jan Broni's doing his best, though, to hold on to both of them.
We have Stuart Elder in 7th position, chasing Colin Ward in 6th, but who's also being chased by Andy Banfield. So everything is popping off, as the kids would say, for the road to top 5. It's not road to pro, road to top 5. We're not Drive to Survive here either. So, any more names that I can throw in?
We're not Drive to Survive. I could put the name of that NASCAR comedy show if you want. That sitcom.
NASCAR itself, because it's a comedy show. In and of itself, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate mail for saying that. But
so Rob Hayes, unfortunately, his power adapter crashed. He accidentally kicked it when he crashed. That's a bit of a shame. That is a bit of a shame. I'm glad it's not a rage quit. We've all had those moments where we've gone angry and done something. So totally understandable. It is a shame, though, Rob. It's a shame what happened, but at least we know you're okay. That's the important thing. Nothing else serious happening. But
yeah,
that's good.
At least it didn't get worse than like explode or something.
Or like a complete power outage that you're still not got any power or something,
Yeah.
But,
I know them. Yeah, I know them.
What was the streamer? There was a streamer a couple months ago, where he's got a DD wheel and his car got stuck, and he couldn't move it. It got stuck, but the wheel was still oscillating left and right. When your car gets in a crash. Yeah. And the problem was, because it's a DD, it kept oscillating. He couldn't stop it. He didn't have a kill switch. And the vibrations were so fierce that it actually collapsed his monitors. They came off where they were standing and fell over.
That's why you always have a kill switch. You absolutely always need a kill switch. As an owner of a DD myself.
Caution. Sorry, caution.
Caution. Oh, that is Sam Whatley. It's all gone wrong for Sam. What has he done? On the inside of 3 and 4. Oh. That wall ready to go.
Again in the wall, yeah.
That caused a caution, really?
Well, it's interesting. That caused the caution, but Ronald Overbade able to, save it. That's interesting. But unfortunately, Whatley already uses quick repair.
Ooh,
that's his race done.
Yeah,
that's it. He is done. He's already retired, unfortunately. So that puts us down to 18 drivers.
Ooh. And then there were 18. Oh, and the European pros have joined us in Caution Land. They have also had their first caution, and it was actually in the exact same corner, but quite a catastrophic crash. And that was... Oh, he rejoined the racing line. Don't do that. Ah! Okay, he didn't cause a crash, but please don't rejoin the racing line when that happens, please.
There is a reason, Rob. We always say lock it down. How many times have I said that? Lock it down, and that is what's going to happen there. Unfortunately, always lock it down. I've seen it in ovals.
All I hear when I hear lock it down is Jack Black singing. I throw it down.
I mean, at least it's not me saying lock the doors, because that's a darker terminology when it comes to NASA. That's all I'm saying. If you know what I mean, lock the doors is not a good terminology in NASA.
Really?
Don't you know what that means?
No.
Lock the doors means that's when they've had a fatality.
Oh.
Because lock the doors is lock the doors in the command center. No one can leave. Everyone's got to download every bit of data they've got.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not gonna be fun at the office dinner. When something like that happens, Jesus.
No. But no, lock it down. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but you know that Arca was at Talladega last week. Dega
as a track for me is like watching. It's like watching plants get watered.
Okay. Here's the thing. Carburetor Cup goes to super speedways, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Arca being a worse Carburetor Cup. And that's not a knock at either series, but the standards of drive. Okay, I was watching the lower splits. The standard was dreadful. Because
you are talking about Arca at Dega, and Dega being an oval is always going to have,
I
bad
saw
racing. And
I saw I want to get this right. I think I saw a 14-car accident on lap 3. It's not the worst that happened that week, apparently.
It's not the.
I just saw some.
The worst thing is, why did you have to include the fact that it's like you're going along your sentence and then you say not the worst thing, barely not the worst thing that happened all week. It's like,
all I'm saying, Arca Break. All I'm saying is Arca Break Weekly, right?
Right.
Arca Break Weekly. They were watching all these bottom splits, and they found one where the whole field was wrecked out, bar like one driver. And even that driver had a little bit of a tap, but he made it through.
Imagine you being that one driver that made it do with just a tap. He probably was singing to himself. He was screaming like, "Yes, I'm gonna win!"
I saw a race because with the Arca cars you can't bump draft because of the round front. You bump draft, you spin a guy. And I saw a race where the last lap.
There's another reason why you can't bump draft either, because it upsets.
Yeah.
Like the Arca cars are very much like the ground effect cars of the day. If you upset the suspension, it's like goodbye. Like the car ceases to be a car and then becomes a boat. And then
I saw a race.
Good.
As we're getting ready to go to go green, we'll go 1 to green now. I saw a race where the top 2 were the only 2 cars battling for the win on the last lap. They had 2 lap cars with them. As they came across the line to take the white flag, P2 got turned by one of the lap cars.
Right.
And as they went through 3 and 4, the lap cars took out the other guy. And with 3 wheels, he had to crawl. He had a 30-second lead to the next guy, and he won by 10 seconds. He had to drive on 3 wheels to get to the end. And the 2 lap cars weren't even battling themselves. That was the worst thing. But we won't be seeing that here, hopefully. Knock on wood. 13 cars still on the lead lap. We've lost 2 cars. We're down to 18 out there at the moment. And in fact, Monty will lead off Mike Gaunt and Jan Brony. We're going to be going into lap 81. And we're looking at a 2-hour race now, Rob. But, again, this extends that pit window. We're still going to have to see 2 more pit stops, but it extends that pit window.
Just ever so slightly, yeah, it does. And, by the way, if you ever wanted to feel like ouchies, air temperature apparently in the European Pros is 18C comparative to 42C of the track. That's just bad. Pace car is in. Adam Vachabonti off now. Off he goes, and it's actually very pedestrian. How, like, I was fully expecting these cars to be like the modern day Stellaras, like, screaming and being screamy, but these cars are very like tame. But we have Andy Banfield and Stuart Elder saying, I don't care what the engine sounds like, I want to do battle. Unfortunately, Stuart Elder on the inside. It seems to be that the outside line, or not the most inner line, but sort of one lane up from the inner is the line to have, because that is Thomas Silbernagel. Now remember, Silbernagel was the very, very, very unfortunate person that probably sat in the corner and had a little bit of a cry to himself because the poor man on the first restart, got himself all clobbered up, all bubbled up, and well, the rear suspension bubbled up, and he was obviously off into the wall on the escapement road onto the start finish straight. He gets ahead of Silvernagel gets ahead of Stuart Elder, bottling up this fight of Kluge and Corbin Sullivanson.
Look, Kluge though, making positions up. He's really going good here, and he's probably going to get his first bit of defense right here. So you got to make sure Sullivanson does not go for any attack here, and he does not. Kluge working his way back up the field. He's now in 10th position after that unfortunate moment where he took a green flag pit stop when everybody else got caught in the caution. He's going to go for another move here. This will be on Silvernagel. He goes around the inside, and Silvernagel's forced to go high. There is grip up there. There's more grip down at the bottom. They do not have the tire dragon here like Phoenix Speedway has. I'll talk about that later. But he does get it now. Can he hold this inside line around 3 and 4? The tougher of the two lines. I think he's got it. And Silvernagel's got to be careful here. That's Elder, sorry. It's got to be careful here because I believe that is Stuart Elder and Corbin Sullivanson now side by side behind. And that may cause a effect here. Elder, unfortunately, goes wide. Sullivanson will get that position. Not going well for Corbin at the moment. Had a good start, but he's losing positions.
Sullivanson, we haven't seen him all race. Well, now we have. He's on your screens. Car number 5. So that's sort of a throwback to Drew.
Oh, we got a spinner! And that's one of the top guys.
That is Ian Erasmus there of NRG. I get what it means now. And I shouldn't be saying that when he's not. Ooh, once again. He kept it at the wall, but not much else. I mean, that is very close to the wall.
Well, he lives to fight another day, but the caution, he did slide. It did bring out the caution.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, that was
a nice save.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a nice save, but damn caution. What is he racing?
Yeah.
Is he green? We're
not even halfway through the race.
Okay, here goes your first time lap.
I was going to make a joke beforehand saying, do these guys know that it's the F1? Literally when the race is meant to finish, but it doesn't matter.
I think, you know, hazarding a guess, I think we're going to not make the start of the F1.
Right, see you later, Rob. Bye.
Yeah. Pace car coming around, picking up Adam Hatchponte. Once again, racing for John. He is this is actually the last time we're going to be seeing him. I think.
He'll go to the pros next season.
Yeah, he'll go to the pros next season. And do we have any more racing?
No. The playoffs, we don't know any news about the playoffs, but the playoffs will be happening. Of course, Major Series will have all the information. In fact, one of the things, Major Series will be announcing their 2022 schedule tonight after the Americas races. So pay attention to that, of course. MajorSeries.com. Always worth checking them out.
Is there something for that? I think it's just going to be on the news section, I think. At the very least, it is.
I'm pretty sure it will be, yeah.
And
but there, like I said, there will be an announcement.
We're keeping coy. But we don't know. I don't know the schedule anyway. It's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting though. If any of the tracks return, or is it going to be new tracks, new faces? But we will have several faces, I hope. Anyway, unfortunately, we won't have Adam Hatchponte as he goes to pro next season, and he'll be racing on GSRC. Kenneth Reader, Silvernagel, sort of. I don't know what they were doing. I thought for a second there they were doing some sort of formation, but nope. Keeping it nice and tidy. Kluge, by the way, needs to. Well, he needs to get going because he's down there in 7th, sort of stuck in a cork in a bottle kind of situation where he's shaking the bottle and he's trying to get the cork out. Of Cork just stuck right in there, and the Cork being Thomas Silvernagel, who's actually got some good pace on him. Scott Kukas and Roger Filippi will be the battle for the top 10. By the way, Ronald Overbait going into the pits, as is Scott Kukas. Ian Erasmus, there he is, all the way down in 12th.
That must be fuel, and that's going to be interesting, because that will put them on a different strategy. Just pay attention to some of these drivers at the back of the field. They have taken different pit stops. Andy Banfield pitted lap 87, Walter Chikoto 77. Just looking elsewhere, Scott Kukas, this will put him lap 88 as well, 89 that he'll be pitting. Everybody else has pitted lap 65 except for Brandon Kluger, who pitted lap 60. Some of the lap drivers, different pit stops as well. But Kluger's the only one that's... I didn't realize it would be 5 laps difference. Well, that's interesting for Brandon Kluger, but he has been able to catch up a lot thanks to what has happened here. We do go around again, so wow, that does make... it will make me say, Rob, I was on about these tyre dragons, right? Have you ever heard of the tyre dragon at Phoenix Raceway? Well, of course you wouldn't, because you're not an oval driver.
No.
It was announced today that the Phoenix, it's the championship final today for NASCAR. Phoenix is not putting down any resin. Fantastic. I don't like resin. And they're not using the tyre dragons. Well, the tyre dragons were made thanks to IndyCar. Because of the way the grooves were, the rubbering down on Phoenix was, there was only one line that the Indy cars could do around Phoenix. So they wanted to get multiple grooves for Indy cars to take different lines around the track. So they invented the Tire Dragon. It is literally 4 Firestone tires bolted to a frame that a tractor lowers down on hydraulics onto the ground, pushes them down for friction, and then drives around the track. The idea being, it is making rubber by literally putting tires on the track, forcing the tires to start to degrade and put the rubber down on the track. It is the craziest invention ever, but it works.
Couldn't they just not have cars just go around?
I mean, it would be kind of hard to get that second groove going, or like a normal car or something, especially with the way the tarmac is around there. Just get like the Indy cars to do like No. What? If you watch Texas this year, where they couldn't drive on the PJ1 that was put down for NASCAR, they couldn't drive on it full stop. So Texas was a single lane race. The moment these Indy cars go off the racing line, they have no grip.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's called drive. I don't know, like F1 handles it pretty well. They just do a lot of practice sessions, gets the rubber in. Anyway, base car is off, or the lights are off anyway, as we get back to racing on lap 90 of 200 completed. Adam Ponte gets the green flag back across the racing line. He goes with Mike Gaunt and Jan Brony in tow for the top 3 steps of the podium. Colin Ward in 4th. Kenneth Reeder looking to threaten in 5th. Thomas Silvernagel in 6th with Brendan Kluge. Again, as I said before, corked up in bottle needs to get past in 7th.
He's looking at it though. He's already straight on Thomas Silvernagel, and he gets it going. He almost went into the back of Kenneth Reeder there. That's how much speed he was carrying there.
We have lost. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
We thought he lost him, but no. Here comes Jan Brony.
Brandon, double move here. Brandon Kluge is looking to take 2 here. He's already got Kenneth Reeder. Can he get Colin Ward in the space of this corner? He's going to be side by side almost. He is going to have to make the move. He gets into the slipstream. He wants the outside line. He's not going to get it. He darts down to the inside. Oh! Darts down to the inside and keeps it going. These 4 now all bunched up together. Kluge is looking. The sooner he can get past him, the better. But we did say that this could be a little bit of a trouble here to try and get by drivers like Ward and Gaunt. Facaponte just threw the fastest lap of the race down as the temperature starts to drop. 30.3 by Adam Facaponte on the first full lap around here after the restart.
That is Andy Banfield, by the way, in the background there. You just see that we've got 2x2s going around the track here. Not necessarily for position in all cases, but in some cases they are. In this case it is. Ian Erasmus trying to pass Andy Banfield to get back up into where he needs to be. That's the Erasmus on the inside there of the NRG black and purple and cyan car. Car number 808 chasing or defending against. Well, now he's defending against the car number 3, but unsuccessfully so far because Ian is not able to clear Andy, and Andy is looking to threaten to secure back that 11th position, and he's still going at it. Yep, he's finally secured it back. Jumping up to P6 with Kenneth Reader. Brandon Kluge has made the move happen. He's ahead of Reader, not ahead of Colin Ward though. Colin Ward attempting to run away and using his best impression of Monty Python, going, "Run away, run away."
Oh, I was going to use the Zoidberg and go whoop, 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 but you know, we'll go with the run away.
Insert your favorite "I am running away" moniker, and there you go.
I have no shame, but I do scream that when I have to go across the road when there's a car coming and I have to cross the road. But you know. Oh, I'm safe. Oh no, there's another car. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, you get the idea. We're watching this going on. We're almost going up to the halfway mark of the race. We'll wait and see these close battles happening here between Andy Banfield just trying to hold on here. Andy Banfield, he has got in Erasmus in front of him. And there's a lap car behind as well as he continues. You're not missing anything at the front. Brandon Kluger's just keeping himself pretty calm. So it's Colin Ward and Jan Baroni. You're not missing anything there. But Anna Ponte, that is true. That timing tower is true. He's already 1.5 seconds ahead of everybody. We've only had, what? How many laps green have we had now? 4, 5 laps green?
Yeah.
Pretty fast. He's just put a 30.57 down. Everybody else is doing 30.84, 8.3, 7, 7.5, 8.1, 7.8. Adam, I'm sorry. I'm calling you out. You can't say you're not good at ovals. I'm sorry, you can't. He's going to watch this back tomorrow, and he's going to be like, I tell you what, I'm not happy with Craig. I'm going to send him an angry letter. You know, I'm calling you out, man.
Other means of writing, of getting the message across are available.
No, I need a job. No, I'm a postman. I need my job.
Oh, yeah.
He sends a letter, okay? I want my job.
Imagine in the future, you know, the way that sort of some jobs are kind of like, you know, getting deprecated because of, like, you know, movement of time. Like, you remember how, like, the spinning jenny deprecated, like, normal, like, weavers in the Industrial Revolution, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine the way that they saved your job was, like, email, but on the, like, a tablet is delivered to the house.
Oh God! Oh God!
I mean, like it's you know those rollable screens, right? Like the flexible screens they have now, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine one of them getting put through your mailbox.
Got a Service Pro for you, sir. Got a Service Pro for you, sir. You know, just put it straight through.
Yeah, you're just there unraveling your. Well, it's effectively a screen, and you're reading a letter. But it's electronic. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I mean, it does make me think, because I remember when I started, I was working with people that used to be in the postal service when they were telegram boys, and they were still working as postmen, and that was like 50 years in 50, almost 60 years working for the company. So I'm now picturing myself just being like that guy now. In like the thanks a lot. I'm starting to feel old, but
you sat there in your van going. You know,
back in my day,
back in date when we didn't even have these flexible monitors around,
we rode a bicycle.
We rode bicycles around everywhere with a piece of paper, and we write down what we wanted on them. And by God,
I'm from the West Country. I'm not Northern, but I'll go with it. Whatever.
It's the only accent I know how to do, and that's actually distinguishable. Okay, come on, it's common.
All right, so you're not missing much, as you can tell. Not everybody is just now. I think this is now people probably got into the idea that we finally hit that halfway stage, and it's probably now got into, hey, everyone, let's just back it up a little bit. You know, everyone's just driving fine. We've got currently 13 cars on the lead lap. There is no need to be pushing right now.
I will say this though: that as soon as you said that, Colin Ward looked like he was actually about to cane it into the wall. So you were about 4 inches away from cursing him, man.
Colin? Don't make me come and find you, Colin. Anyway, but you understand what I'm trying to say. This kind of has the Indy Daytona effect to me. When we had that race, Daytona was a very similar race where after a little bit of jostling at the start, everyone realized it was better to just stay together and just wait until pit stops and then kind of figure it out. So, like I said, because of the multiple cautions we had to start the race, which brought us into having our first pit stop at lap 65, we're kind of looking at borderline 3 stops here, which is going to be good for them because they want to try and eke out as much time as they can on the second stop. Some of these guys pitted lap 65. So remember, you're looking 55, 60 laps. Add another 5 laps on because of the caution we had. In fact, we had 2 cautions since. I think we did. So 5, maybe 10 laps. So you're looking about lap 130, I'd say, for that second pit stop, maybe lap 120. Looking around that time at the moment. So there's still another 15 laps before people start considering coming into the pits. And also, with the times not really getting quicker, you know, you'll be looking at drivers doing mid-30s when we start to know that the fuel is starting to drop. Brandon Kluger, though, will be the first one to pit, I would think, unless, knock on wood, we don't get a caution.
That's the hope, anyway. I mean, we have seen what happens if you try and come in too fast. The car bites you very, very quickly. Very surprised at the Dallara. What's it? The name of the Dallara, according to this, is the Dallara IndyCar, circa 2011. Even though this is the 2008 model, isn't it not?
Yeah. I don't.
Let me check the page.
There was another IndyCar, but I reckon because it was the last year they ran these, it's probably called 2011.
There was the FW12. Car info. This is the 2009 model. What?
Wow, okay. I mean, these cars are fun to drive. If you ever get a chance to do Dallara Dash, people, I highly recommend it. Like, these are fantastic things to drive around in. We'll wait and see. I mean, they drive these at Laguna Seca for fun races on iRacing, which is always a challenge. But it is also a classic racetrack when you think about IndyCar. When I think about IndyCar racing on roads, I think Laguna Seca. Don't know about you.
This is a V8, but this is the quietest V8 I've ever heard. Like this sounds like a it's a 3.5 liter apparently.
Is it a flat?
It's a DOHC V8. So
that means nothing to me.
Hang on, let me just see now. What does DOHC mean? There we go. Google is my friend.
Do you want me to Google that for you? You're okay.
It means that dual overhead cam engines. It's a dual overhead cam engine.
Dual overhead. So that's a flat 6. That's a flat 8, then, isn't it?
I'm not sure what flat means.
That means all the pistons are all together. The car sliding. What a save! Who was that? Who was that? That was Stuart Elder. Stuart Elder just saved the car from near death. And you're about to see this right now on the replay. Comes around turn 4. Now watch the car. Car just goes, here we go. Oh, and oh, wow. Stuart Elder, buy yourself a lottery ticket. Wow.
I think he was probably screaming in that car. You know, yeah, my money's on him. Probably wanting to slow down a little bit. Not to do that.
I can see Stuart Elder's pit crew right now going, let me know what you need, Stuart. Stuart, what do you need? I need a new race suit! Because that was one hell of a save.
But like I think another person had joined him previously in time past, which was Mark Webber, who I think back in 2007 had food poisoning in his.
Oh, I remember that.
And and by the way, Ian Erasmus, by the way, passing by Roberto Di Filippi on our screens now, is in the top 10. But yeah, he got violently sick on the radio as he was trying to say something.
He was saying, "I need to come in, lads. I need to come in." You should. Oh, the car flipped! We've got a big crash on the front stretch, and that's one of the leaders.
That's Colin Ward.
And that's the 92. 92 of Colin Ward. Big incident there for Ward.
Colin Ward up on his roof. What's happened to him? That is a self-inflicted incident, and there it goes. Yeah, yeah. And another reason, if you ever wanted to know why they have the halo now, there you go. Like, just, oh dear me, that is quite violent. The car just starts flipping. Bang. Yeah, that is one dead car. He does not have a fast repair, by the way. He's dead. He's gone. He's done.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is Colin's race done.
According to... Let me see now. The IR35 incorporates a host of safety enhancements, including any absorbing materials in the fruit box and leg areas, as well as a 7mm thick side anti-intrusion panel and a compact gears forward transmission. So apparently this is the IR03/05. Apparently. Even though in 3... So, it's according to iRacing's page, it is the Indy car from 2009 that's called the iRacing 03/05, but apparently, according to the actual name that we have on my scoreboard anyway, it says Dallara IndyCar circa 2011.
Wow, this actually changed a lot of things, because look at all the cars coming into the pit here. Erasmus and Phillips are the only ones. Now, I'm just thinking about this. This still turns it into they're going to have to do one more stop. But they realized that this situation with 40 minutes... Why am I saying 40? With 87 laps to go. I can do maths. I may even got that wrong then. It's 85 laps to go. Very questionable. And also, look who comes out ahead of Adam. Mike Gaunt is quicker than Ponti and gets out ahead. Now, surely Erasmus and Phillips will have to consider coming into the pits, because they're going to be on old tyres. Like, we're talking 50-lap old tyres here. And that's going to be quite scary for a restart. Are they coming in? Now, this would be the question. Will either of them come in here? I mean, that will cycle them to the back of the field, but they're not going to gain anything. They're staying out. Ooh, I don't like the look of this, Rob. I know it's single file starts, but
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hilarious to see. It's going to be hilarious to see, what's the word?
This is hilarious to see? No, I don't think this is going to be hilarious to see.
No, I mean, as in, like, it's going to be hilarious to see what strategy pays off.
Especially when you think that these guys, they've probably got another 10 laps of fuel in the tank. So to not pit now, I'm scratching my head. And like I said, the oval driver in me has this paranoia. And it's nothing against the drivers. Has got this paranoia. You've seen it in Twitch clips before, in video clips before, of a car on older rubber stays out and does the restart and spins the tyres. Not saying it's going to happen here, but the anxiety is kicking in from oval driving right now, Rob.
I mean,
and I know Ian's not that type of driver. I know Roberto's not that type of driver. But they last pitted lap 65. It's lap 117. We've only had a couple cautions during that time. Those tyres do be used, and that's not a good thing. They got one more shot to come in here. They will not. Oh dear.
I mean, they already had an incident like that today already, where a driver basically, what was his name?
Wolf Dietrich.
Yeah,
lost control of the car.
Dietrich Otto.
Yeah.
basically just sent the accelerator pedal to the floor, and the car sent it into the wall in retaliation. So,
confirmation that Colin Ward's day is done. He has retired the car. He will finish no better than 17th.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
no better than 18th. Sorry.
No better than 18th. No.
So, Mason Marcel's still out there, 7 laps down. So just the 3 retirees at the moment: Robert Hayes, Stan Watley, and Colin Ward. And that does have some permutations, I believe. I just need to do some checking here. That gives the Legends Championship to Jan Brony.
No matter what
12 points difference. 12 points difference between the two of them. I'm not sure about drop rounds, but yeah, Colin needed to do a good result here, and Jan had to have a bad result, and it did not happen. So that indeed does hand the Legends Sportsman Championship Jan Brony. And that is another championship sealed up. And I think that's now every championship sealed up in the Major Series. The only thing we have left to decide is who gets P2 overall. Brandon Kluger or Sean Brown.
And they're back racing once again. Ian Erasmus leading off the field. He will be a absolute airbender, as Maicon already tries to get past around the outside of Roberto Di Filippi and successfully does so. Adam Pachaponte is trying to chase down Maicon as fast as he can. Brony getting past Roberto Di Filippi. Roberto absolutely having very bad luck out there. He's slow. I think he's got the wrong engine mapping or something like that. Ian Erasmus trying to run away, but he sees the cars behind him and they're closing in fast. They'll have a lot more rubber to deal with, a lot more grip as well on those new tires as they get out to temperature. By the way, it is going to be Jan Brony losing a position to Kluge, but I think Jan Brony has already seen the writing on the wall. He does not need to continue to push as hard as he can. He has essentially got all he has to do is finish. All he has to do is finish today, and that's it. He's won the Masters, or the Legends. Adam Pachaponte on the inside just makes good work of Mike Gunn to make sure that move is nice and quick, and starts chasing down Ian Erasmus.
Yeah, they're starting to chase down, and Ian Erasmus just put his fastest time of the day of 30.45. Even with those old tires, he's managing to get some use out of them. But here comes Adam Pachaponte, and he's got such a good run. But he's gone very wide here, and that could have put Mike Gaunt to send it 3 wide. He will not. Pachaponte goes right through, and he will take the lead back. And Mike Gaunt is looking very close to get that P2 away from Erasmus. And on that exit, look at that. The slow corner, the exit speed belongs to Gaunt. He may decide to just pull aside here. He does not, because look at this. Gaunt's getting the double toe, but that means Erasmus is getting a single toe, and that allows him to just stay there. Gaunt is going to have to find a decent run here and a decent send on those new tyres. Still letting them heat up a little bit here. Don't think he'll want to do that. Meanwhile, Brandon Kluger, great recovery from Brandon Kluger. Great restart by Brandon Kluger. Look at him, sniffing away in the back and a little bit of a wobble. Ian Erasmus, a little bit of a wobble there. Hold on to it, Ian. You don't want another one of your team going down. He will hold on to it. This will allow Mike Gaunt to just pull alongside. Can Gaunt then use the outside line for turn 3 and 4, which we've seen has been faster? I don't think he even needs to try it. Gaunt finally gets that P2 back. Erasmus will tuck in and take P3. He's making me eat my words a little bit. Those old tyres are starting to work a little bit, but how much time has he got left before he's going to pit? So, we will now keep on watching and see what's happening. Adam Pachaponte continues to leave. He just continues to put more and more time out there. 30.46 or 30.67 for Mike Gaunt. You can see what's going on there. Adam, once again, just putting on the lap times. He's got clear air. He's just carving the way. No one to hold him up at the moment. No lapped cars. So, it just becomes a battle now of when does Mike Gaunt just hold on to this? When does Ian Erasmus go for this? When does Brandon Kluger come back? Brandon's keeping it very calm there in P4. He's having one of those moments where he just needs to just hold it safe and just make sure that he doesn't need to over push. Just making sure that the right time he can pounce. And again, we've got another pit stop, definitely. These guys, most of these guys pitted lap 115. You add 55 laps onto that, you're looking at 170. So 170, they're going to come in for a splash and dash, and it's going to be a last finish. Remember, no green-white checker in IndyCar. Whatever happens, we have a caution around lap 197. That's the end of the race. I think 196. My maths is a bit off, but you get the idea. Vaccaponte continues to lead 1.2, 1.3. It just keeps fluctuating. You can just see it there. We've got the ability on the timing tower to go to 3 decimal places. I have 2 decimal places myself, but Mike Gaunt there and Ian Erasmus side by side right behind. You'll just start to see it. And again, I think Erasmus, though, with the older tyres, it's going to be tough for Ian to make this move, but he is getting a nice run around the outside. You'll just see as he comes into the corner right now. There he is. He gets that move. That was a move around the outside. Chalk it up. 3rd move around the outside today. That's happened. And all of them have come from these 2 drivers. And they continue to battle. I cannot believe these tyres have still got the life in them from Ian Erasmus. Little bit of a slow exit, though. And Mike Gaunt, just see there, is able to take back the position. Really nice battling between these 2, I would say. Rob, unfortunately, has just had to dip out for 2 seconds. You're just seeing the back of that battle, as well as seeing Adam Vaccaponte just continuing to go by. And would you believe it? Ian Erasmus, you'll see right in your camera right now. There you go. He's taking that position back. You're missing nothing else around the track there. These 2 continue to have a really nice battle. Meanwhile, behind them, Jan Brony is trying to fight Brandon Kluger. Nothing going on at the moment, but the gaps are so close between everybody now. Roberto De Felice is the only one that's really not in slipstream range of anybody. You've got this battle here. Erasmus, Gaunt, Kluger, Brony, all together. Then you've got Felipe's, Reeder, Solomonson, Siebenegel, Banfield, all together. 12 cars still on the lead lap, as you can see. Scott Kukas is holding on a wing and a prayer still at the back of this field. 3.47 for Vaccaponte, 3.6 for Erasmus, 3.76 for Gaunt, 0.71 for Kluger, 6.8 for Brony. Kenneth Reeder, 10 places gained this race so far. Mike Gaunt is at 9. Can be at 10, can be at 11 if he feels like it. He can catch up to Adam Vaccaponte. But that orange car, that 150, racing for John, just continues to just dominate out there today. So, a reminder once again, for the last time this season, we do have our sponsored charity. It is the Veterans. It's Fishing with Vets. I apologize, I got that wrong. But it is a charity to help veterans to go fishing on basically almost like fishing trips and fishing vacations like you would get normally. Just the experience of of taking the big fish and having a good go out there. I know it's a very popular hobby/sport nowadays, but it's all recreational what they do, and it's a fantastic service they do. That's the last sponsor of the championship, and it's a very nice one. You almost come full circle with all these sponsors here this season. But as I was saying, not much is happening per se. Jan Brony is trying to threaten Brandon Kluger, but it's not happening at the moment, and everybody just having their moment. There is a bit of a gaggle at the back of the middle of the field. Solomonson, Siebenegel, and De Philippe's. But again, they're just jostling for positions and having some go-arounds. I will say that the racing, I'll knock on wood when I say this, the racing has been pretty respectful today. No cautions caused by people wrecking each other out. It is just literally the challenge of turn 4 that is catching people out. But the track is starting to drop a bit. 40.5 Celsius. We started at 5 Celsius warmer, as it now goes to almost 2 o'clock in the day, starting to get cooler. Lap 135 is coming up very shortly for Adam Vaccaponte, but we are halfway through lap 134.
And Ian Erasmus on the apron. He's coming into the pits. Did I miss anything?
You didn't miss anything. You missed a little bit of battling between Erasmus and Gaunt, and you can just see how finally the fuel has not paid off there. Mike Gaunt could have used another caution there, but it's not paid off. For the extra 20 laps they got, I don't know if it was worth it.
Nope.
They are going to have to pit again. unless there's a caution, they are safe for fuel till the end of the race. No, they're not safe for fuel till the end of the race. Sorry. The likes of Phillips and Erasmus needs a caution, and they can go for the rest of the race on this one tank, which would be big, because that would be only 2 stops they've taken. So we won't keep an eye on that, because we'll definitely be telling you, because we'll see the caution
from a mile away. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, I don't know how far away, how big this track is again. I always forget, but yeah, from about 1 kilometer away or so. Yeah,
it's 2K, isn't it?
You are right. It is officially. We did have it on our documentation, 2.4 kilometers. So yeah, we'll see it a couple kilometers away.
And looking backwards, Jan Brony and Brandon Kluge still going at it, by the way. Coming into coming into the 3 and 4, and then into the 1 and 2. Jan Brony chasing down Brandon Kluge as he attempts to fend off the car 88, or car number 40 attempts to fend off the car number 88 of 650 good old American horsepower, go at speeds of near 240 miles an hour. And
that's not a bad American accent there.
I thought it was horrible. But anyways, apparently it's 100% ethanol fuel, according to the page.
That would make sense for IndyCar. They've always been at that technology, so...
What, not actually using proper fuel?
Well, I mean, what is fuel nowadays in this day and age where we're trying to be green? You know what I mean?
Electricity.
Is a fuel.
Yeah, but why not? Yeah, but why not use electricity? Imagine NASCAR, but for real, or IndyCar, or
you say that, but under the plans, the next engine that they're going to make in NASCAR will have a hybrid system like the current F1 cars.
I don't think the fans will be very happy about that. I think
some fans weren't happy about the fact that the new cars are going to single lug nuts. Okay, I'm not calling out the NASCAR but angry people on social media when it was announced, literally in end of 2019, I think it was, when the next literally said something along the lines of, this is no longer my type. This is no longer the sport that I wanted. This is the final straw, removing the 5 lug nuts to have 1 big lug nut. Literally, people online made that complaint. So things are going to evolve.
Sometimes. Yeah, but you see, I think the key issue is that they want to have it as close to them as possible, so they have the justification when they do, when they speed on the road. Be like, oh, Dale Jr.'s got his NASCAR out there, and he's got 5 lug nuts. I think I got about the same. So,
well, you say that. Literally, look at this battle, by the way. The original thing with NASCAR was, you see it win on a Sunday, you roll up to the dealership and buy it on a Monday. That's kind of gone away now that the cars are fiberglass bodies and massive chassis with roll bars.
And not American.
They are American?
Yeah. Really?
Really?
I mean, American in the sense that the companies are American. It's really that they're built in America.
Yeah. That is true.
And also, I mean, part of the point, America is not the epicenter of the world. It never has been. With motor racing, and I will say, hey, of course, what's the word? Of course, it's all high. It's all fine and dandy.
I was going to say, you know how you're saying, speaking of America not being the epicenter, you've heard the latest with Glickenhaus, haven't you?
No.
So they can't race in IMSA because because of like production rules or something.
I don't. Wait, what?
But Glickenhaus is told that they have to, if they want to race next year, they have to enter every race.
Oh, they can't do the Volta roll thing.
Yeah.
They can't do the I will only do these 5, 6 rallies, and that's it.
Yeah. Because I got to be brutally honest, I watched some of the World Endurance Championship finale yesterday, and the moment Alpine retired or had to go to the garage for big repairs, I just gave up watching.
Really?
As much as I love the LMP2 battles, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch an 8. Oh, caution! Sorry, we have a caution.
Oh, caution!
And I think it's Ronald Overbay. It's turn 4 again into the wall. Same place.
Have a look. Ronald Overbay. Let's have a look at you. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage on his front left, and that was the issue there. We'll actually go on board with him on his roll bar and show you sort of how quickly you can develop this Ronald Overbay at the moment coming through. Into 4, and then we'll just slow it down to half speed and just slow it down to quarter speed where he starts there, right there, and you can just see he's trying to. It doesn't look like a lot, but that is quite a lot of opposite lock that he's trying to give to it. Well, relatively speaking, for these guys, puts on the brakes are stuck on, and well, the wall's ready to greet him and give him a very nice tap, and you can just see there just how quickly it deforms. Just it looks exceptionally fast when you're just doing it for real, but when you slow it down to something like this is the slowest, this is 1/16th the real speed, you can actually see how quickly it the whole panel deforms, and in 3, 2, and a 1, and there it goes, and you can just see how quickly that deforms, and that is a good section of damage there on that front left. He did actually keep it going, but
look at the steering.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, actually, I do say that front left suspension is completely gone.
Well, Rob, remember how I was saying, hey, one caution and De Philippe's and Erasmus will be fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the pits.
So they're not.
Everybody can go to the end now.
So what you're saying is
there's only one driver who has not gone into the pits.
That is
Otto.
As well, Patrick Neese,
and Marcus Smith, yeah,
and Mason Marston, and Ian Erasmus, and Roberto Di Filippi.
Yeah, but we already know about those two because they pitted early, didn't they?
Yeah.
But that puts them back on the lead lap. They've got a little bit used tyres, but it's still going to be a bit of a pinch for them if there's no caution. But it's free real estate now. Everybody can go to the end.
Yeah. So their tactic has not played out.
Right, I will leave you 2 seconds for this restart because there are some people pitting, but we'll get back for the restart very shortly. And Robert, I'm sure you've got some things to say.
I do actually. And in the third innings, we had Adam Fittipaldi with his absolutely great aura. Sorry, it's not cricket. He's got to actually just want to start in the F1. I'll wager that. If you don't know how F1 handle, F1 be handle. But anyways, in the F1, they're actually just about to get. They're actually on the grid now. Sort of, you can just see Mr. Bottas drinking. So they're sort of 13 minutes away from getting ready to go. Also means that everybody here that's still in this race will be stuck here in this race. coming every single minute of it. But I can actually tell you now, while we're waiting for the base car to keep going around, it'll be at least one more lap to go before we go for green. And in the pros, in the Euro Pros, the car 007 of Bennett is still in the lead, 1.2 seconds ahead of Crum in car number 7. Dallas Pataska is chasing him down for third. Ross Banfield is 15 seconds behind, so no major threat. And moving the inside there for Dallas Pataska to try and clear some traffic. And then Henderson in the car number 24 in 5th. Light square on the vehicle.
Now then, that was a fantastic inning from WG Grace, wasn't it? And it's fantastic to see England still out there, battling away in the English summer heat here at Lord's.
I was, yeah. I
heard it and I thought, brilliant.
You heard
Thank
my
you.
cricket. There's a go for the third innings. Afghanistan are ahead by, whatever. What score in cricket? Look, I've never. All
I'm saying is it's the World T20 at the moment, and Ireland had a chance to make it to the big stage, but they couldn't get out the group stages because they lost to Namibia, a country that only has 9 cricket grounds. You are a country that you are in the top tier of cricket now because you can play Test cricket officially, and you couldn't win against a country with 9 cricket grounds.
You're also missing the fact that we play proper sports, sir. As the big cars comes in,
pace car is off, and here we go. Yes,
I'll let you take it away this time.
Adam Agaponte will lead them away. Of course, there. Mike Gaunt is going to be behind, and he really gets a good start here. But what can he do against this speed that Agaponte has at the moment? And there is a little bit of barging around the back here, and I believe that is Jan Brony having to battle Scott Kukas there. Scott Kukas is battling on. There's a slow car as well. It's Mason Marzoff letting some few drivers go as well. No early moves at the moment. But remember now, officially, from the stats we've got, these guys can go to the end. Will this mean that the lights, of Mike Gaunt will start pushing? Does this mean we'll start to see Brandon Kluger finally get up ahead here? He doesn't need to manage anymore. He knows that whatever they go with now, if they're on lap 153, that's it. They're going to the end with this tank for sure.
By the way, the Euro Pros has finished up 48 laps ahead of us.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That is
that's how much. That is how much the what's it?
The gap is.
The gap
caution.
is.
Yeah,
that's
caution.
What's what the cautions have done to us.
Right, Adam Agaponte just at a 30.22 last lap. You can see that he is pushing away. He's starting to pull away from Mike Gaunt. Gaunt at a 30.3, which would have been good for the fastest lap time, tying Agaponte until he put that 30.2. Let's see what Adam does now. Is it going to be another low 30? It's a 30.2 flat and a 30.6 Mike Gaunt. You can tell these guys are starting to crank it. Track temp is 40 Celsius. They are starting to crank this down now. And Brandon Kluger, in all due fairness, he's struggling out there at the moment. He's holding off Kenneth Reeder. Kenneth Reeder's finally starting to show his worth here. He started 16th, and Reeder now up the front, 12 places gained. Steven Egel behind him, 13 places gained. It's all going well for these guys. Get past Brandon Kluger, and all of a sudden, well, you know, it's gonna be a challenge. Times are starting to drop a little bit. It was a 30.3 last lap from Agaponte and a 30.5 from Mike Gaunt. And you just think to yourself, well, those little times, what's it going to cause? It causes quite a bit of difference. It really causes a bit of difference. In fact, you can just see on Kenneth Reeder's cockpit there, you can barely see Adam Agaponte. There he is. You see him turning in the middle of 1 and 2. But that's how far away he is. That's 2.5 seconds away. This gives you an idea of scope, really, of how you're seeing. Onto the nose camera, Brandon Kluger, and there's Mike Gaunt. Well, he can see, but that is pretty far away. And that gap now is 1.5 seconds. That is quite a gap. and he's done that in the space of, 3 laps. 3 to 4 laps has Facaponte just started to tighten the screw and just take the lead. And in the rear camera, there he is. There's Mike. And wave goodbye to Mike, because this gap just continues to grow and grow. And Brandon Kluger is starting to close the gap on Gaunt. He did a 30.49 last lap. They are matching each other, but with that slipstream, can Kluger do it? Because he does have Kenneth Reeder right behind him.
You can see it on your screen. Looking backwards on Brandon Kluger. Looking back towards Kenneth Reeder. 1.4 tenths of a second behind. Brandon Kluger's dropped back to 4 tenths of a second behind. And falling backwards with Silvernagel. Who now passes on his left-hand side going into the 3 and 4. But Kenneth Reeder will have the outside line, and Silvernagel will have to fight tooth and nail to get past. Oh, not leaving much space whatsoever between the two of them, but is having to give up and allow Reeder his space. It is going to be... it's going to be a hell of a task to get back up all the way towards the back end of Mr. Brandon Kluger.
Yeah, but he'll do his best at the moment. That was the slowest lap time out there, that lap apart from Kukas is 32.6. As they come across the line again, it's a 30.47 for Facaponte, 30.61 for Gorn, 30.62 for Kluger, 30.58 for Reeder. If you think of Thomas Siebernagel, he has got a little bit of a double toe here. It's not a big double toe. He does have it though, the 30.72. So when you think about it, second and third matching each other. Fourth is trying to catch up here, and that's going to be quite crucial. Roberto De Phillips just overtook Scott Kukas, by the way, at the back of the field. Remember, Phillips and Erasmus, they don't need to worry about fuel. Well, they do need to worry about fuel because they can go to the end. Just that caution helped them, but they're going to have to probably do a little bit of fuel saving here, not be too aggressive on the fuel, on the throttle when it comes to the end of this race. But Kenneth Reeder, he's starting to lose Brandon Kluger here. Brandon is now in the slipstream of Mike Gaunt. Really good lap that time. Gaunt was a 31.03 and a 30.66 for Kluger as they come across the line this time. Gaunt, what's his time going to be? It's going to be a 30.75 and a 30.6 for Brandon Kluger. That is a tenth off. The gap is now closed down to 4 tenths, just almost 3 tenths. Brandon Kluger looks like he's ready to go here. And Kenneth Reeder, he's got to be defending Thomas Siebernagel. And Siebernagel looks to be making a move.
Silvernagel on the inside. Silvernagel on the inside as he comes to bear. But it's not side by side. He's actually now under threat from Andy Banfield. He's actually crept up and is now threatening Silvernagel, which is exactly what Reeder needs to be able to start pushing away. Silvernagel having to go a lane higher, but tucking back in and going back for another attack. But it's too far back to be able to do it this time by. We'll have to wait until probably a lap or two later. They'll only have 35 laps and change, and that is going to be a bit difficult for him to get sussed out. By the way, if you're a fan of the Formula 1, well, it's actually 5 minutes away.
It's done time.
Yeah,
but it is still... Yep. The drama is still here because Adam Facaponte might be pulling away from this at the moment. However, Brandon Kluger is just losing a little bit of time. Now he's getting into the dirty air of Mike Gaunt. He is able to push on. Ronald Overbay has retired the car as well. He'll be finishing 17th. He's decided to call this a day, and you can start to see Kluger. He is tightening the screws. The difference between him and Mike Gaunt last lap was only 0.04 of a second, but that means he's still faster, and he's taking a lot more speed. And now Mike Gaunt's having to go on the defense. He flips down to the bottom of the track. And you can start to see he's starting to worry. He knows that Kluger's starting to press. Now the question is, Kluger's not really gone aggressive here, but how late is too late? Because if he wants to try and catch up to Facaponte here, he needs to be going now. He's unable to. 30.7 flat for Gaunt, 30.77 for Kluger. Just not happening for him at the moment. The dirty air starting to take it out, and if Mike Gaunt pulls to one side and stops him getting the slipstream, That's really affecting him. You can start to see Kluger is starting to follow him now. He needs to follow, needs to get that slipstream, needs to get the speed, save a little bit of fuel as well, meaning that he can probably push it harder at the end of the race. He's just keeping an eye on his fuel calculation, keeping an eye right there. The gap continues to go. What is the times this time? They're both 30.70. They're matching each other. This is what Kluger needs. He will catch him up in the corners, the high-speed corner, in the slow 3 and 4. That's where he's struggling right now. And that might be the issue he's got to keep an eye out for the next, what? We're 33 laps to go.
33 laps to go here. And Andy Banfield back in 6th is looking like he wants to get moving up and away. More than anything else, wants to get going and not wait around, not dilly-dally, not chilly-chally. But he's also got Thomas Silvernagle to deal with, and of course Kenneth Reader is up ahead of all of them. But we have Jan Brony. He's sort of taking his time with things. He has dropped back a few positions, letting Stuart Elder by on the outside. Not wanting to, not wanting to do anything more to sort of upset anything. Just leaving it as it is, because no matter what happens, he is going to be the
Legends champion. Legends Sportsman champion. Yeah. Like I said, that is
in the pits. And he takes the
not sure what's happened there to Kukas. Something must have happened there, but he's coming for the fast repair. He's coming out right now. Put him a lap down. But again, he will be able to go to the end of the race regardless. I think also, looking at it, everybody can go to the end. Mason Marshoff and Marco Schmidt can definitely go to the end. So yeah, everyone can go to the end right now. That is what we're looking at now, which is pretty good for them. We're on lap 171. We're just doing lap 171, sorry, of 200. You're not missing anything at the front. Brandon Kluger still just on the back of Mike Gaunt, taking more time out. But again, he comes through 3 and 4. He's unable to do anything. You're looking right here of the 88 of Jan Brony. He can see in front of him Stuart Elder, Andy Banfield, Thomas Siebernagel. He can see it. You can just see this beautiful line of cars at the moment. Brandon Kluger and Mike Gaunt just head off into 1 and 2. There goes Reader, Siebernagel, and the caution is out. And who's done it? It's Ian Erasmus! Ian Erasmus is in the wall, and that is big damage.
Let's have a look. As it comes around, and the wall's there, ready to greet him. Ow! Yep, that is his race in jeopardy. He has a fast repair, but that's the only consolation he has.
I think he'll be okay. If he's got that fast repair, he'll be okay. The question is now, if you're Roberto De Philippe's, because you were also with Ian Erasmus, do you come in and take fuel just to make sure you're going to be safe? For these guys at the front, you still got fresh tyres. Do you take the risk? Now, honestly, no. No. Why? I don't think you want to right now. We'll wait and see when they come to the pit. By the way, in the F1, they are at the moment on the formation lap.
I was about to say powered by AWS, and it's like the formation lap is powered by AWS. Crikey.
I mean, with F1 owned by an American company, would you be surprised if they sponsored the formation lap?
No.
No.
I have seen how utterly.
Oh, Adam Facaponte comes into the pits.
Ooh. Is he fueling to the end, do you think?
But they can go to the end. Ian Erasmus has to come in. Corbin Solomon comes in. Now that is a call for fresh tyres. But he has to go through quite a lot of drivers. I say that. It's only 11 drivers on the lead lap. Excuse me. I'm confused. He has taken new tyres. But look at this. Look at all the lap card he has to get by. Champion's rolling the dice. This is the first time I think we've seen the champion roll the dice this season.
Well, I mean, he is a champion. He doesn't need to do anything else. He just needs to think about what he needs to do. Or what is he going to do though? If he's going to try and go for the win from 9th with fresh rubber, I mean, this is probably the only chance he's got to do it.
Be one hell of a drive if Adam does that. I got to be honest. From ninth to the, especially when we're going to be going green with, 24 laps to go? Give me one hell of a drive to do that. That's 8 places in 24 laps. And we'll wait and see. It's a very interesting decision. We should see the 1 to go, I reckon, this time by. We're waiting, and the lights are still on, so we'll go around again, Rob.
And my gut leads. Info.
I'm not going to say why we're a little bit quieter now. We're just watching the F1 stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ah.
Ooh. Ooh.
No. The race hasn't even started yet. We're not spoilers. We're not spoilers. No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'm saying nothing.
I'm like a few minutes behind, okay?
I mean, we're down to the arena, okay?
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, indeed.
Ooh. Oh!
We apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Wow. No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Wow.
Pace car is. Oh yeah, hang on. We're still on the.
Yeah, it took that long.
Oh. The lights are finally off. In a minute and a half, we'll get back to racing. I just remember that Rob can't, Rob's on a delay to me. I have the TV on. So
Yeah, and I can't hear anything.
I can't. Well, frankly, the timing tower needs to tell me.
Oh, that dead.
Yeah. Anyway, these cars are not dead. Focus back onto this race. It's going to be all important. I made a joke earlier that I might have to reposition my microphone when I do the interviews. That probably will be happening. Do not get me wrong on that. Anyway, pace car will be coming in this time by Mike Gaunt leads him off for the first time today. Brandon Kluger will be behind him. We're going to be going to lap 177, which to me, if I do my maths correctly, that is 24 laps to go at the line. Adam Vaccaponte, champion, took the pits. He is on the freshest of fresh rubbers. Can he make those 8 positions up to retake the lead? That's going to be a fun storyline. Are we going to see any more drama here when we start to go? Mike Gaunt will lead them away.
In comes Mike Gaunt. In comes the pace car. With Mike Gaunt going away. Mike Gaunt absolutely gunning it from the start.
Keeping my eyes on Adam Vaccaponte as well. We're looking at this. He's got through a few people, and he's just gone past another one. That is a lap car, and then he goes past even more. There's 3 wide at the back of the field with all the lap cars just going on there. Roberto De Felice had to go for a pit stop as well. That's going to be causing more things. But Adam Vaccaponte already up ahead.
Oh, stop the ball. Why did he not go for a pit stop with Vaccaponte?
I believe Phillips has got a black flag. That's the car in the wall. There's a car in the wall. It's the 74. And that brings out another caution. It's Marco Smith.
Smith's in the wall. Let's have a look at this. What happened here? He must have had it done all by himself, actually. Oh, no! He slid up into a car.
And Adam's just gone on the microphone. Looks like I've given away another oval race. Wow. I don't believe that yet, if I'm brutally honest.
You don't believe what yet?
Adam's gone on the microphone. I've blown another oval race. I don't believe so. When the guy's been setting 30.2 lap times, I'm just saying. I think he's got the pace. But how many laps have you got to take? And you know that these guys in front are basically just going to take the most of this. Who pits, Rob?
Oh,
Nobody.
Oh my god. Oh no. I hate the fact that I can pull up F1 on my PC now. I hate that fact more than you know.
Oh, I'm just looking at the replays in the F1.
Oh yeah, you look at they're under a safety car as well now, aren't they?
I thought we weren't spoiling anything.
Yeah, flip you. Flip you. God
The
damn
F1, the F1 are definitely under a safety car. Do not worry, you're missing nothing. We've been asked no spoilers. I'm sorry, I've got some bad news for you, Mr. Motogoat. There are spoilers on all of these cars.
the F1's got spoilers.
Yeah,
See that?
I'm sorry.
See that? That's a spoiler. Hang on. That is a spoiler right there. But as for actual incidents, we're looking at where Marisov come out. He is the car that caused this caution.
I think he's already done.
Sorry. Schmidt is the one that caused it. Sorry. I saw M and A and thought they were the same person. Never mind. Yeah, he's just clambered out of the car. Yeah, that car's toast.
That car, unfortunately, is done. He doesn't have a wing, but he's got a spoiler. So, Adam Facaponte starts in 7th position, the championship leader. He claims he's blown another oval race.
Yeah, he keeps saying... He said that before, didn't he? And then he won it.
I mean, he did pit late in the last oval race we did, which... What was the last oval race we did? I forgot what that was now. It was the Southern National 300. Yeah, the Southern National.
The Sona. I think.
The Sonar.
The Sonar 300. Well, it's Sona, as in like Southern National, SONA.
I got you. Don't worry.
You know, like Soho, or like whatever. What's the Soho mean again?
Soho.
Yeah, Soho. I don't know.
I'm sorry. When you say Soho, I think of that area in London. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well. It's like, that sounds awfully familiar, like a place in London.
Wow.
Is you in it, bruv? Is you bling, bruv? see, I can annoy Craig with all these London.
Okay. All I'm going to say is when the pace car goes in, we're going to be looking at lap... pace car go 1 to green this time by. And it will be lap 183. We're looking at 18 laps to go. Oof.
Yeah, and, well, with NASA written on the side of Mike Gaunt's car, obviously he has intent. So he will be wanting to launch and get going very quickly because... Facaponte's down in 7th. There he is. Look, the orange car. That white car on the right-hand side, near center, upper center of your screen, is the car of Mike Gaunt. The yellow flags have stopped blinking. It is now go time for Mr. Gaunt as he comes around 1, 2, and into the 3 and the 4. And remember, for NASCAR, for IndyCar, it is a single file restart. According to this track, anyway, it is a single file restart. As they are looking very carefully at getting something done so that they can get the best launch off. So, about 2nd or 3rd usually is where you need to be, sort of threaten, you know, the apple cart. You can see Mike Gaunt sort of holding a mid lane right now. He'll rejoin sort of upper lane usually.
Well, anyway, pace car will be going in. All eyes on Mike Gaunt. All eyes on Brandon Kluger. All eyes on Adam Vaccaponte. I mean, we got to give our eyes to Reader, Stephen Nagel, Banfield, Solomonson, Erasmus, everybody. But we know that Vaccaponte has the fresher tyres, even though he's only really given a lap in anger. Pace car comes in, and Mike Gaunt is going to lead them away, and he goes as fast as he can. He knows he needs to get a gap on Brandon Kluger because Brandon will be hunting. Now, what does Vaccaponte do? He is too far behind at the moment. Will he get a move on to Stuart Elder is the question. He's not going to get that move on right away. Any moves at the front of the field at the moment? Well, we see Stephen Nagel and Reader having a little bit of a battle at the moment, but nothing else is going on. There is no positions at the moment. Kluger is trying his hardest, but he does not get the good starts here. He does have Reader trying to threaten him, but the gap now is 0.4 of a second. Lap 184.
Back with the Erasmus, he's trying to get past. He's up in the 7th already. Adam Vaccaponte has to start getting moving very quickly, otherwise it'll sweep away from him. That is Andy Banfield and Thomas Silbernagel going at it. Andy Banfield moving up into 4th position, with Brandon Kluger closing the gap ever so slightly towards, my God, Adam Vaccaponte taking half a second out of both of the cars ahead of him. He is absolutely putting the hammer down and putting it down in a very big way towards Silbernagel. He needs to pass a car every 3 laps if he has any chance of making Mike on the final lap. And so he's got a bank of 2 laps. He just needs to get moving forward. That's all he needs to do. By the way, Roberto Di Filippi is now in the pits again.
That's his penalty. That's his penalty he needs to serve. Adam just did a 29.95. If you think he's going for it, you can see it. And there he goes, right on beside. That is Stephen Nagel there, and he's just taken Stephen Nagel with no problem. These tyres are fresh. I want to see what his lap time is. We'll look at the leaders. 30.34 for Gaunt, 30.19 for Kluger, 30.38 for Reader. It's a 30.02 for Vaccaponte. That's 3/10 faster than Andy Banfield. He's pushing. We told you the fresh tyres would be it now. Can he make anything here? Already right on the back there of Andy Banfield. It's only going to be a matter of when, not if. There he goes, straight in. He may not get the run this time, but as he comes into 1 and 2, no, he doesn't even need it. He's already there. There is a lap car. Roberto Di Filippi's in front of him. He's going to be okay, though. Lap 187. And still, Kluger is closing that gap to Mike Gaunt at the front.
Adam Vaccaponte now over into the 4th. Brandon Kluger still closing ever so slightly. He's now put it down to 2/10 and just some change, or well, less than 2/10 now. But having to hold sort of a very oblique pattern behind Mike Gaunt because of the turbulence that is generated from these cars, and sort of the fact that the loss of grip through, especially turn 3 to 4, is actually so severe it'll actually cause the car to let go. And Adam Vaccaponte, I think, has thrown caution to the wind. He's actually now the only car on the track, and I can confirm this, the only car on track to post a 29. He is the
second sub 30-second time, Rob.
Yeah.
That's insane. And look at him. He's just gone past Reader with no problem. This is like Hamilton Verstappen battled with fresh tyres. That's a big gap you see ahead. That's less than a second to Brandon Kluger. This is lap 189. And while Brandon and Mike are having this little battle, look at Adam. That was a 30.3 compared to Kluger's 30.42 and Gaunt's 30.38. He's not just taking time out, he is eating the time. He is eating it in big chunks. He's not taking the little bites off the Cadbury's Dairy Milk. He's taking a whole row off right now. And as I've been talking, that's half a lap, half a second he's put on. 30.0001, 30.38 for Kluger, 30.37 for Gaunt. I mean, we're on lap 190. Adam is on a rampage right now.
Adam catching up to the rear end. He has very little time left. Less than 10 laps left to go on the number 40. Goes on the inside. Not too close enough to make the difference. On the outside he goes. Does he sweep by? Come on, Adam, you need to stick it. Yes, he does. By he goes. He'll have the side-by-side action and hopefully a lot more speed to deal with. He has P1 in his sights. Mike Gaunt's there. With Mike Gaunt going into the 3 and 4. Mike Gaunt slipping and sliding a little bit. Mike Gaunt is on lap 42 stint tyres. Adam Vaccaponte has 17 stint tyres, a lot fresher than he has. going on past 191 onto 192. My God, on 192, trying to hold off as best he can, going around the outside. That's Adapachapati going in the inside. That's it versus Racing for John. I guarantee you Racing for John's going to come out ahead. That's my God on the outside. The car number 21 going on around the 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to hold it around the outside? No, I don't think he will. No. Adapachapati is now your race leader.
The move from Adam Vaccaponte, and he knows how big this is. He's going to take away all the slipstream that Mike Gaunt wants, and there he goes, comes straight back in. This guy says he's not good on ovals. He just proved how good he is. He took the risk. He bought the risk. It's going to pay off. What a drive this is. This is lap 194. 2 more laps, and if there's a caution, that is it. He is now starting to pull away. That was his slowest lap since he put tires on 30.31, and you can bet he has not wasted these tires. I'm just out of breath. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And he's just done a 29.95 again. That's joint fastest route, Rob. He's had 3 laps under 30 seconds. He's the only driver under 30 seconds this race.
Well, to be fair, he's already a second ahead. He's just running away with it, but he also has the advantage. He took the tires, and he kept them at least nursed and not sliding around. So, Adam Vaccaponte really is, no other way of saying it, just going ballistic right now. And I'd say he wants to get home and watch some of the F1 himself. Not oh, Genie Mac.
Whoa!
Oh,
Solomonson in the wall, and that was in Erasmus. I think that was a bit of internet issue, and in the wall goes Solomonson, and he's had to tow, and this might be it. That might be game, set, and match for the race.
Yeah, I jumped outside my skin there. Holy moly! When even I get scared. Yeah, wreck for Corbin Solomonson in the 3 and 4. Here we go. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, that happened very quickly. And there he is on his roof. Oh yeah. Hang on, no, hang on, stop. Hang on.
So, when looking at this right now, it could be a 1-lap shootout. So this could be interesting. 1 lap, Rob. If you had 1 lap to give it your all. 1 shot to finish the race.
Hang on. I need to see this. I need to see this netcode because I'm pretty sure it is netcode. Or very bad amounts of it. Here, let's see. Going on the outside, that's going to be. Okay, no, that was not netcode. That was just. Well, I mean, he drove through him, but I mean, that was such a bad hit to his rear left. Like, just drove it. He just drove into the rear left tire and just kept going. He didn't stop. And that is Solomonson's race done as well, because I mean, some way he's going to be able to recover from that damage.
I don't even think he's got a fast repair.
No, he doesn't.
I think he's already used it. That is indeed his race over. So we're just checking. Looks like it will be a 1-lap shootout. I mean, what a way to finish the season. A 1-lap shootout.
One-lap shootout. Remember, they will not have any, what's the word I'm looking for? They won't have any, Genie Mac, what am I thinking of? They won't have any, oh my god. Why is my brain such a mush today?
I don't... This is usual for Rob.
Well, it just goes mush for some reason. They won't have any green, white checkered. That was the word I was looking for.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, no overtimes. This is IndyCar. There's no overtimes in IndyCar. Now, again, the lights have not gone off. It will be 1 to green. So it'll be 2 to green, which that is officially a 1-lap shootout, which kind of a bit boring because everyone's going to be pushing really hard. But Adam's got the fresher tyres. Ian Erasmus has got the fresher tyres. Anybody else on fresher tyres? It does not look. It's even Erasmus is the only one. Scott Kukas went a couple laps down. Of course, De Philippe's had a black flag. That's another thing they've got to be worried. They've got to watch out for is not jumping the gun here. You can only overtake on the outside. You cannot overtake on the inside before the line. So that's going to be a bit risky. But there's only 9 cars on the lead lap here for this 1 lap shootout.
Currently on lap 198, 200 laps in total. And then I think this is the split with one of, I think we've actually just passed the internationals for the longest time in a split.
I think we're going to tie them.
They were 2 minutes 20, weren't they?
Actually, no, you're right. We'll just beat them.
Yeah. And we are coming up to the line now. If the lights stay on, which we doubt they will, they're off now. It means it will be a 1 lap shootout. We wager it will be Adam Pachaponti. He controls the group. He controls their speed. And there is absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be able to run away with it. But Mike Gaunt can pull something out of the hat very, very easily. So there is very little as of yet to indicate how this will go. Apart from the fact that it is just, as it is currently stands, it currently stands that Pachaponti will win because he has the
fresher tires,
the fresher tires, and the advantage of dictating when the start happens. So
let's wait and see, Rob. Let's wait and see. It's going to be very interesting to see how this finish goes in. The pace car is going to go in. It's on turn 3 right now, coming into 4. Pace car will go off and Adam will lead them away. Only 9 cars on the lead lap. Pachaponti, Gaunt, Kluger, Reeder, Banfield, Erasmus, Diebenagel, Elder, Roney. They all have a chance to win this. There is 1 lap to win or lose it. And Adam's just gone. He has gone for it right away. He's not going to let Mike Gaunt have these superstars he has. And he's already put out a half a second lead over Mike Gaunt has Pachaponti. Is there anything else around the back of the field? I can't see anybody jostling for position right now. These nine drivers on the lead lap cannot find anything. Adam is just going to prevent any slipstream on Mike Gaunt. And the same for the others? No, there's no same for the others. There's no moves happening here. So, again, stand up for the king. And he wins it racing for John for one more time. Adam Pachaponti wins the Indy Japan 300.
And a good job by Adam Pachaponti. A great way to cap off the season after saying he threw away the race. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you he'd make it? Funny that. He said he threw it away, but he didn't. And he absolutely blitzed it. Not only did he blitz it, he wins knowing that it caps off a great season by him for the European Sportsman. We will not see him next season, so from all of us here at Raidillon TV, big thank you to all the racing that you provided us, Adam. And if you don't interview with us tonight, we appreciate that you were racing for John. We appreciate that you kept the torch lit for as long as you did. And just enjoy your donuts, son, as we go over the results of this race. We are going to be interested to see. There he goes with the donuts. Somebody else joins me for donuts, actually. And we go with the official, or the preliminary results, of the Indy Japan 300, with Adam Pachaponti winning for the final time in European Sportsman, and capping off a great season that he had throughout the entire 2021 series. Mike Gaunt in second place, with Brendan Kluge in third, Kenneth Reeder in fourth, and Andy Banfield in fifth, Ian Erasmus in sixth. In seventh is going to be Thomas Silvernagel. He didn't cap off as much as he wanted. In Silbernagel's corner, he wanted to sort of emulate what Adefacho was doing, but couldn't. But he did come back up into 7th. Stuart Elder into 8th. In 9th is going to be Jan Brony. Hotto, after all of the calamities that he had all today, especially with that second caution restart, or the first caution restart, sending himself into the wall, at least he came out in 10th. Patrick Nice, Scott Kukas, Roberto Di Filippi in 13th, Colm Solomonson in 14th, Marzov in 15th, and then we get the people who did not finish today. Marco Schmidt, Overby, Ward, and Sam Watley and Haynes, who accidentally kicked his electrical outlet, causing his PC to not want to have power anymore. I mean, at the very least, it's not the worst thing in the world to have happen to you. Which, of course, not the one thing that he would want, and I think he would have.
I can think of worse.
Well, go ahead.
I was doing a Daytona race, and somebody said your internet was playing up, and I thought, well, let's close Steam down to change for the event. You know, Steam's causing me issues, forgetting that iRacing and Steam are linked.
And
so I closed Steam. Yeah. It closed the race. Yeah. So so I've been there. I know how that feels. I will wait to see if anybody will pop around for an interview, but I don't think they will, especially with what's happening in the real world with NASCAR Championship 4 and the F1 in Mexico with the Mexican Grand Prix. It just gives me a time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking with us for the whole year. And thank you once again to the Major Series for putting up what I think is a fantastic little series here with lots of little challenges and different categories of racing. It's introduced a lot of people to new people. It's introduced a lot of people to new types of racing they never knew. Even myself, some of the stuff that I've seen and driven here for testing has been fantastic. So thank you once again to the Major Series, to Mike and everyone involved there, and Sam and everybody there. There's probably loads more people I'm thinking of, but I cannot think of them at the moment. It's been fantastic this season. Who knows what comes next season? Like I said, the Americas Series, after the Americas Series tonight, they will be the announcement for the schedule for next year. But it has just been great to see all the champions crowned here, and in fact, Caponti sealing off the championship with another win. Who could stop him this year? I don't know. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you saw on Raidillon TV, hit that thumbs up and the subscribe. Not the subscribe, but you can hit the subscribe button, but also hit that join button. Adam Facaponti is here, and there is Brandon Kluger. Who would you like to start with, Rob?
Both.
Oh, we're going to bring both in. Go on, Rob.
Both. Adam, congratulations, my boy. You've secured the title, not only that, you secured today's race. Even after you said, quote, I have just ruined my chances.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I really did think I gave that one away. I honestly thought everybody would hit with me. I thought we had gone long enough on tires, and the tires don't wear a lot on this car, but they do wear, and I really thought everybody would come. And then the way the restart rules are, the lap down cars that don't pit get to restart in front of you, and I thought it was too many cars and too few laps to get them all. Not to mention, Mike and Brandon, they weren't slow. I mean, yeah, I pulled away from them, but usually by like a, 10th or 2 a lap, so, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I was going for it every restart, man. I don't know what to say. I'm thrilled with that. I knew I had a good race car. I wasn't sure how good it was going to be in traffic because I didn't really get to practice that. But man, what a race. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it was I don't know, to watch, it might have been a little slow in the middle, but man, the end of that was crazy.
Indeed it was, yeah, especially given the fact that it was all the bits and bobs just coming together at that last little bit, especially given the fact that Ian Erasmus had his accident. How difficult was it coming? A lot of drivers were actually having issues coming out of the 4 with the car destabilizing and then sort of sliding into the wall. We had, I think, at the first restart, the end of the first restart, it actually had Hotho been it into the wall. How difficult was it to keep it on the tarmac when the tires were wearing down?
Well, I mean, yeah, 4's, I would say, is the kind of the trouble area. You can get in trouble off of 2 as well. That's more of you get understeer there. and I've understeered into the wall there in practice. But yeah, 4 you could lose it pretty easy. I had a couple times I had to save it. My car wasn't just on rails. It was there were times it was hard to drive. I was constantly adjusting it with the weight jacker, um, through turn to turn pretty much every lap, and then as the run would go on, I'd have to adjust what numbers I was using on the weight jacker. So yeah, it was constantly keeping up with the car. That was something I was honestly worried about because I tend to get fatigued towards the end of these races and I lose focus, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do 10 clicks on the weight tracker twice a lap for 200 laps. So,
Yeah.
man, I'm just so happy, man. I feel like I gave away that last oval race. I don't know for sure if I would have won it, but I felt like I gave it away pitting when I did, and then this time I felt like I did it again. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, it's sort of like lightning has struck twice for me, but you proved yourself wrong at the very end. But with your eventually leaving us to go to the Euro Pros, what's your big goal for the Euro Pros this summer? For the Euro Pros for next season?
We'll go into pros. Going to be a challenge. I mean, I have pretty good pace. I'm a pretty decent qualifier, but race pace sometimes because I watch the pro races and I compare, okay, what kind of times was I doing during the race and what are these guys doing? And they're just on it, green to checkered, and I'm not sure I can do that kind of pace nonstop. There was a few times during this race where I took it easy a little bit, trying to save fuel or trying to save tire. But there's some really fast guys in pro, and I'm looking forward to it. It's my goal is just I want to win a race in pro. I've never won a pro race in the majors. I've won some sportsman races. I want to win a pro race. I know it's going to be a big time challenge. I don't think it's going to be easy by any means. 14 races, I'm hoping I can get one, man. That would make my year.
Exactly. And Craig, do you have anything to add?
I don't really have anything to add, Adam. I was just going to say thank you once again for the whole season, for racing with John, racing with Matt, the helmet support and everything like that. Are we still going to see you continuing with that next season? I know you're going to be racing your I wouldn't say famous, but your traditional orange car. Are you still going to be flying that banner for John next season? I think that's the one I'd love to know.
Well, that's paint scheme's going to change because I have an announcement to make. Next year, I'm going to be driving for Evolve Sim Sports. We've been kind of collaborating unofficially on a few races this year, and they asked me to join the team, and I accepted that. I wanted to finish this year out as an independent. I used their setups a couple times. I used their setup for New Hampshire. It was a killer setup. I won that race. And I can't remember the other race I used their setup. For the most part, I've just been using the majors garage setups with like one or two little tweaks to make it drive the way I like it to drive. That's what I did for this race. But yeah, I'm looking forward to joining those guys. They're a great group of guys. I've been teammates with some of them before when they used to race with UDocs. And just thanks to those guys and thanks to UDocs too. I always give those guys credit because when I was on their team, I mean, it really brought me along as a driver, having great people around me. And I still, even though I haven't been on their team for 2 years now, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you just announced there, Adam, is to me, as we come to the end of the major series for another year, it is just the spirit of the major series of just getting people into communities and growing people's social networking and like phone book as in the old days, as we probably know from our days, growing our phone book and getting that big black box there of book of information there. Adam, it's fantastic and fantastic again to see you again. I'm going to let you just have your shout outs one last time for shout outs, and then we'll let you get going for your day. And congratulations, by the way.
Well, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to the major series. I mean, I love racing in this series. This majors really got me back into iRacing. I wasn't racing much when they invited me to join this league, and I love it. I hated that I missed last year. I'm just so happy to be back, and these guys do a great job. We complain at them sometimes, but they what they do for us to put on this league for us, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, and all the guys I share the track with. I think this division is one of the cleaner divisions in the league. I think a lot of races we come in with the fewest amount of cautions. It's a great division, and we've always had clean racing up front, hard racing like we did today. And so thanks to all those guys too, the guys that share the track with. It wouldn't be no fun without them.
Well, Adam, thank you very much, man. It's been fantastic to see you race all season, and I'll be looking forward to watching you back in the pros next season. All the best, my friend. Have a good winter, and once again, congratulations to Adam, not only the winner today of the Indy Japan 300, but the champion of the European Sportsman Series.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And then we've got Brandon Kluger here because we might as well talk about this fantastic drive from Brandon, because while there was no laps led there was one man that was always the threat to everybody, and it was Brandon. And Brandon, I think, really, I wouldn't say you had a quiet race because you had to work your way back up a few times. And I know at one stage you got caught out by a caution at the start of the green flag pit stops. And was that any concern of you at that stage of the race?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was trying to hope to pit early and maybe just gain a little ground on. I think Colin was in front of me at the time. See if I could just be in front of him after the pit cycle. Then, of course, come off a pit lane, and what happens? A caution. So definitely put a damper in our plans, but it ended up working out. That was probably the toughest thing, was going from all the way in the back to the top 5, top 3.
Yeah. Was there any struggles for you? Because I noticed that you had a lot of pace getting through the midfield, but when you got to the front, especially battling Mike, you were unable to. You were struggling. Was it more of a hold back to the end of the race, or was it just literally the dirty air and Mike's pace just when you got close up there? Were you just struggling due to the dirty air?
The dirty air, I mean, it definitely had some effect, but Mike definitely had pace. I don't know if I was gonna get him. I was trying different stuff once we got towards the end of the race just to see if I could gain ground. I definitely gained some ground, but I just couldn't get to him. He just had that little bit more pace than me, so he definitely had a fast car.
Yeah, it's another year done for the major series, Brandon. What are your plans? I mean, for the winter, you're probably just going to be relaxing. What are your plans for next season? Are you going to be looking? Are you going to be looking Sportsman? Are you going to try your hand at the pro, or what are your plans for next season for the majors?
Well, hopefully, I can definitely do it and compete. I'd like to stay Sportsman just to give me a little more. I don't know. If I go to pro, I know I'm not going to compete with those guys. I'd like to be able to compete. So that's what's nice about the Sportsmen. We're all really close up front. So hopefully it's like that. I know they've got a little bracket. They determine who moves up and who doesn't. So we'll have to see what happens with that at the end of the year. But definitely would like to come back and race.
We'd love to see it. Rob, I don't know if you've got anything to add.
Yeah, well, just for next season, what's the goals for you, Kluge?
I mean, this year was just to get a win, and I was able to grab 3 of them. So hopefully, my goal is to do the same thing and then just be competing for that title.
Oh yeah, we hope to see it. We hope to see it. And have any shoutouts before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my wife because she puts up with me when I do the racing, takes care of the kids, and then shout out to Tom Wood, the owner of HW Racing, and then shout out to Falcon Race Wraps. Put this really nice paint schemes on the cars all year long, so definitely was fun to drive those things. They just look super stellar.
Good to have you around, Kluge, and thanks again for dropping in with us, and hope to see you again next year. And that was Kluge having his interview with us, and I think, Craig, that's it for us for this year. It's for us this year. Once again, I was saying earlier, thank you to Mike, Sam, and everybody at the Major Series for putting on a great season. It's our first season for the Major Series, and it has been thoroughly enjoyable. We started at Daytona. We had some battles around the Nordschleife. We had some fantastic racing at Spa. We were hit by the unfortunate passing of John King. We also then had our support. The family came together for Matt Gelder. It has been a fantastic season in terms of the community, and the racing has really just shown it. So I've really enjoyed it this year, and I know Rob will echo the same things. Once again, if you like what you see on Raidillon TV, hit the thumbs up, hit that join button, subscribe button for the membership perks if you do feel like it. Underneath, of course, the video, as per usual, link to our Discord, and also shout out to GSRC for providing the camera work, and also links to other pages for us underneath.
We will be back sometime soon. Do not worry. We will keep you informed of what's going on. But again, it's been a fantastic major series, and I really can't find the right words. So all I have to say really is that once again, my name is Craig King,
And I have been Robert O'Brien.
and this has been Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.